18-year-old Nikki Truslow is suing her ex-boyfriend, 21-year-old Josh Carter, and his fiancée, 20-year-old Yolanda Walker, for assaulting her with a stick. Josh and Yolanda are countersuing for harassment.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 173 on the calendar in the matter of Truslow versus Walker Carter. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated.
Ms. Truslow, the defendant, Mr. Carter,
Yes.
was a former boyfriend of yours.
Yes.
The co-defendant, Ms. Walker, is his current girlfriend. They have a child together, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
According to your complaint, Ms. Truslow, the two of them assaulted you.
Yes.
They say you started the whole problem, you precipitated the assault, and they are counterclaiming for harassment. So that's what this case is about.
Yeah.
When did this happen?
It happened on January 11th of this year, but the night before it happened, on January 10th, I had stopped by his cousin's house. At the time, I was 6 months pregnant with his daughter. And I stopped by there, and I go inside, and he walks me into the kitchen, and he's like, you know, me and Yolanda got back together because they dated in high school, and he was like, but I really don't want to be with her. I want things to work out with you. I was like, okay, and he was like, well, call me later. So I leave.
How many children do you have?
One?
With this lady?
Yeah.
You have a child?
Yes, we go Monday for the blood test.
We already took the paternity test on our half. We just
I
waiting
have
on
to
her.
go Monday, so. But here's a picture of her if you'd like to see. I don't know. But anyway, so then I leave, and he
How
was
old
like,
are you?
how old am I? I'm 18.
And how old are you?
21.
What do you do for a living?
Work. Work.
Would you stand still? Try standing still. What kind of work do you do?
Work at Burger King.
Burger King. Go ahead.
Okay.
So he's in the kitchen and he's smooching with you.
Yeah,
You're 6 months pregnant, and
Yeah.
he says, I'm back with her, but I don't want to be back with her. I really want to be back with you.
Yeah. So
Go
then he
ahead.
tells me to call him later on. He was going to a game or something, whatever. So I called him that
You ought
night.
to be
and
going
he
to his
wasn't-
second job.
Huh?
Go ahead, nothing.
Oh, so I called him that night and he wasn't there. I had a doctor's appointment at 10 o'clock the next morning. So I go by his house. I had never seen her before. I'd never met her before
Is
until
this
that
your
day.
first child?
This is my first child. So I go by his house, and he stayed in the basement. So I go around to the basement. I was on my way taking my
What did you
friend
go to his house for?
to see if he wanted to go to the doctor with me, because he had told me to call him the night before, and because he had already went to
Why
one
didn't you
doctor's
call him?
appointment. I did call him, but I didn't call him that morning. I was on the way.
Why didn't you call him that morning?
I don't know. I didn't know that she was going to be there. I had no idea. I mean, the day before he was telling me, that he wanted to get back with me. I didn't. If she was going to be there, I wouldn't have never came. So I go by there and knock on the door, and Yolanda answers the door. And I was kind of surprised, and I was like, well, is Josh here? And so he comes to the door, and I was like, what's going on? Why last night you're telling me that you want to work things out, and she's here? And he was like, he really didn't say too much. So me and him go into the other room. It's like a laundry room in their house, and we're in there talking, and I'm questioning him, why did you say this if you really didn't want to work things out? Well, Yolanda's like, well, I heard you wanted to fight me and da-da-da. And I was like, you know what, I didn't come down here to fight you. I just came down here to talk to Josh. So me and him were in the other room talking, and his mom has like a stick that she used to hold her sliding glass door with. And Yolanda hits me in the back of the head with it, and it breaks in two. Well, I turn around to defend myself. She's pulling my hair, hitting me with the other half of the stick, and Josh steps in between us and pushes me down on the left seat. And every time I try to get up, he's still pushing me down, and she's pulling my hair, hitting me with the other half of the stick. And so his grandma comes downstairs, and so then they both back up. The other half of the stick had flew kind of to the other side of the room where the door was. So I get up off the couch and I'm crying, and I was like, fine, if you wanted to fight like that, then I'm going to go get you locked up. So I grabbed the other half of the stick. I leave out the door, and I'm all upset.
What'd you grab the other half of the stick for?
Because I was going to use that as evidence to show that's what she hit me with. But I was at my car with my door open, willing to leave. I was not, trying to start anything else. They come outside. He walks over to my car and pushes me, jerks the stick out of my hand, and tells me to get the F on. So I go home, I tell my mom, and we go get warrants on both of them. And then I went by and saw my obstetrician to make sure that my baby was okay. They did the little heart monitor thing. She said everything was fine, and if I had any problems, any bleeding or anything, to make sure I went to the emergency room. The next morning when I woke up, I was in a lot of pain. My neck, my shoulders were really sore. I was having cramps in my stomach, I guess, from trying to get up and down off the couch. So I go to the emergency room, and I have the copy of that right here. So if you need,
she didn't bring that to the first.
It's kind of faded. So, but when we went to court, they didn't question Josh.
You were arrested.
No, we weren't arrested.
Yeah, I have that right here.
There was a trial.
There was a trial, yes.
And you were acquitted.
What does that mean?
Found not guilty.
Yeah.
What about you?
Dismissed.
No. He was found not guilty. Her case was dismissed.
He was found not guilty.
Yeah, and he didn't even say anything.
Shh. And her case was dismissed when?
The same day. They tried both of them at the same time.
So they were both found not guilty.
No. They had 2 lawyers against my one. Okay, it was really.
Stop! Of course they had 2 separate lawyers.
I know
You
that,
don't have
but
your
what
own
I'm saying
lawyer.
is,
You have the
I
district
understand
attorney.
that.
Fine. So both found not guilty. Either you're guilty or
Okay.
you're not guilty.
Yeah.
Whether you're dismissed, whatever. You're not guilty.
Okay.
Okay. Fine. Now, shh.
Okay.
I don't understand one thing, madam. You said to me a moment ago when you started this discussion with me, you said that you would never have gone to the house if you knew she was there.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you said that when you went to the house that morning, instead of calling first,
Okay.
why don't you receive instead of talking?
I'm listening.
Good. And if you saw her because she answered the door, why didn't you just leave?
I didn't know I was going to get beat up. You know?
I try answering my question. You got a hot temper. You're not helping your case.
Sorry.
You told me if you knew she was there, you never would have gone.
Yes.
She opens the door. You see she's there. Why didn't you leave?
Because I still wanted to find out what was going on. You
Well,
know?
why don't you find out what was going on by picking up the phone and calling sometime later and saying, hey, Josh, what's going on?
Yeah, I could
Yeah,
have done
good.
that.
Now, tell me your version of these events.
It started off 2 days prior to the day of the fight. I had came by to drop my daughter off. I was going to my cousin's house or whatever. And Josh and her were on the phone. I guess they were arguing or whatever on the phone. But he ended up hanging the phone up on her. And when he got off the phone, he told me, he said, Nikki says she's going to F you up. And I was like, why is she saying that? I don't even know this girl. Never seen her a day before in my life. Okay, then the phone rung again.
Did you stop right there? Did you have a conversation with the plaintiff a couple of days before this incident?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you call her or did she call you?
She called me.
What did she say when she called you?
She just wanted to know what was going on.
What was going on? What do you mean, what was going on?
Me and her getting back together.
And what did you say to her?
I said, we're not getting back together.
Did she at that point say anything about Miss Walker?
Yeah, she said she was going to F her up.
Did she say why?
No, ma'am.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tabitha Truslow says ex-boyfriend Josh Carter and his fiancée, Yolanda Walker, assaulted her with a stick.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so after he told me that, the phone had rung again. And so I answered, he told me, he said, if it's Nikki, tell her I don't want to talk to her, da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so I answered the phone, and she goes, is Josh there? And I was like, he doesn't want to talk to you. So then I asked her, you know, why did you tell him that you're going to F me up and you don't even know nothing about me? She was like, well, as soon as my car gets back here, I'll be over there to fight you. That night, she came over there with 2 girls. I was not there. His mother and Josh was there, and she and 2 other girls that came over there to fight me.
Did you go over to his house 2 days before?
I did not.
Did your mother see her over there?
Yes, ma'am.
If I called his mother, would she say that you were over there 2 days before?
I don't know, but
Oh, she probably would.
but also could I
Don't say anything other than answering my questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. What happened when she came over a couple of days before this incident?
She just started cussing and talking about she was going to beat her up. Where's Yolanda at?
Go ahead.
Okay, then the next day, which was the 10th, it was on a Wednesday, I had went to go pick them up from his cousin's house. I gets there, he comes and tells me, Nikki came out here today, talking about she's going to beat you up again, and she came by the house last night, and my 3-year-old daughter at the time overheard her say that...
Don't tell me what anybody overheard.
Okay, well, Thursday comes, it's about 9 o'clock in the morning, and she knocks on the door, I go answer the door, she walks in the house, uninvited. I asked her, I said, well, why did you, say this stuff about me around my daughter? That was the main point. She said, Yolanda, I didn't come in here for this, da-da-da-da-da-da.
No, don't do da-da-da-da-da-da-da. She didn't say da-da-da-da-da. I didn't come here for this. Go ahead.
She said she didn't come here for this, and that, you know, she only wanted to talk to Josh or whatever. And I told her, I said, Nikki, I said, next time don't come over here no more. She was just like, well, I can come over here anytime I want. I said, well, don't come over here while I'm here. So then she was like, BITCH, da-da-da-da-da, something. And then I'm sorry with the da-da-da-da. But it ended up where she was like, I'll whip your da-da-da-da. Whip your butt. And then so I was like, you ain't gonna do nothing. So at this time they were at the sliding glass door. Josh was like probably like this to her, and she was behind him, and she was like, I'll whip your da 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 da. Shoot, I gotta have it with it. And so she said, I'll whip your butt or whatever. And so I got up, you know, I was sitting on the couch. So I said, you ain't gonna do nothing. I said, but I know you better not come over here next time. So she had grabbed the stick, and she was like, what, like that? And she came at me with the stick. I grabbed the stick from her. And when she had did like this, I grabbed it like this, and I took it from her, and I hit her with it. And then from there, we had wrestled, and I ended up tossing her on the couch. I had completely dropped the stick by then. The stick was on the floor when she picked it up. And I was just hitting her in the head. Josh came in between us and grabbed me and, you know, took my hand out of her hair or whatever. And then she ran to get the stick, and then she ran out the house, and the first thing we thought was, oh, my car. I thought she was going to bust the windows out my car, because she just ran out of the house with the stick in her hand.
So he ran out and got the stick?
Yeah, he ran out and got the stick from her.
Okay. Let me hear about your counterclaim.
Okay, about the counterclaim.
Make sure it's a good one, unless you want to withdraw it.
She has harassed us the whole time. She calls the house. We had to get the number changed. She goes to his job.
Can I say something? No.
She goes to his job, tells him he shouldn't marry me. She talks bad about me.
He must be some bargain.
Try to get it.
He must be really a bargain. Do you have any money in a Swiss bank account? You have a Swiss bank account?
No.
That maybe they don't know about, or they do know about?
She tried to get a job where I worked there too. That's why.
At Burger King?
That's right.
And he ended up.
And I ended up quitting.
And then she didn't want the job there anymore.
So that's harassment?
Mm-hmm. It's been a lot of issues. She sent mail to the house.
You don't have a lawsuit for harassment. Two women probably have a lawsuit for stupidity against somebody.
Could I say something, ma'am?
No, say nothing. You made a mistake. Probably you did too. Your mistake is 3 years old, and your mistake is a newborn.
My daughter's
because,
not a mistake.
Oh yes, because it tied you permanently to him. That means you two women are tied permanently to him when you were children. Children having children is stupid. Children who don't know how to behave themselves is stupid. So don't tell me you're not stupid, and don't tell me these two children weren't mistakes. Big time. Now, you had no business going over there. I absolutely believe her that you were there before, that you had some inclination that that's where she stayed.
I didn't know.
Then you should have seen her at the door, closed the door, and left.
I just wanted to
I
make
don't
sure
believe.
that
I don't
he
believe
didn't-
you. Listen to me very carefully, madam. You had
Can I
no
also say
business.
something?
Say nothing. Your case is dismissed, as is your counterclaim. Next time, I want you to both, if you have any extra bucks, go to the store, buy birth control. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I wish you would just leave us alone.
She can have them and have 10 kids by them.
Please don't get involved with people like her. Please don't.
Yeah, this is case number 300 on the calendar in the matter of Lane versus Sandicott.
Thank you, Bert.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
The defendant was a former friend and roommate of both of you?
Yes.
Is that right? And it is your claim first that you sold him a car, that he didn't make all the payments on the car, you repossessed the car, then the police came to your house, arrested you both, and you spent 6 days in jail.
Yes.
And you want the money for the car, because I assume he has the car back?
Yes.
Next cause of action is you claim that he stole certain property.
Yes.
The defendant says that he actually owed you very little on the car because he did some work for you, and he's got a counterclaim for value of a computer, software, lost wages, and a whole bunch of pain and suffering. When did you sell him the car, and for how much?
On June 25th of 2001, and we sold him, the original selling price was for $800. He gave us $400 in computer parts and $100 in cash.
So he owed you $300 for
Yes,
the car. Go ahead.
Then we agreed to finish paying for the rest of the car in 1 week. A month later, we came to Jeff and we asked him, can he, finish paying for the car? And if he wasn't going to finish paying for the car, we were going to repossess it, and he wasn't going to get reimbursed for the amount he already paid. Another month and a half after that came and went, and we came to Jeff again, and we told him, you broke the agreement that we had, and now we want to repossess it. Jeff then stated that the car was broken, that it wasn't even drivable. We said, fine, we're going to go fix the car and take it home. And that's when we went to go, and the car wasn't even broken, Your Honor. It had nothing wrong with it. We drove the car home, and the next morning the police came because Jeff called the police and told him that we stole his car.
Was the car titled in your name at that point, sir?
No.
It was not?
No.
In whose name was the car titled?
I believe it was in the people they had bought it from. It had never been turned over into their name either because we were going to turn it straight into my name.
So you didn't have the title to the car?
Right.
And you didn't have the title to the car in your name?
I do have a bill of sale and the title that is listed for my wife's name on the title, Your Honor.
Let me see it. So you only had this car a couple of weeks before you sold it to him?
Yes, ma'am.
And you bought the car for $400?
Yes, ma'am.
You sold it to him for $800?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a pretty good profit.
Yes.
From your friend, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
But when the police came to the house, Your Honor, they refused to look at any of the legal documents stating that the car was ours, and they threw us in jail. Me and my wife both spent 6 days in jail.
Why did you spend 6 days in jail?
Because Jeff had this thing against us.
What thing did he have against you?
About possession of stolen property for the car.
Well, I understand that, but didn't a lawyer come to see you while you were in jail?
No, Your Honor.
What state do you live in?
Washington.
Washington.
Washington State?
Yes, ma'am.
Mark that off my list of places to visit.
You got it.
Yes.
Was this the first time you were arrested?
For this matter? No. No, ma'am. What happens is when you get arrested, right, you go in for arraignment the next day, and then you plead not guilty. And then they give you another court date a week after that, and then you go in and you plead not guilty
Yeah, but
again.
even on your... No. I mean, most civilized jurisdictions, before you go and appear before a judge, you're given a lawyer, and you say to the lawyer, look, I have the bill of sale, please show that to a judge. That would happen on the very next day, unless they were detaining you on some other matter. Now, were you being detained on some other matter? Don't look at me like I'm speaking a foreign language, all right? You were being detained on another matter.
Yes, Your Honor.
That was me.
Perfect. Because what you have just described to me might happen in Afghanistan, but doesn't happen in the United States of America. Were you being held on a warrant?
Yes.
Perfect.
Does this mean Washington's back on your list?
Washington's back on my list. Thank you, Brett. All right, so let's get rid of any pain and suffering that you had as a result of this 6-day incarceration. It wasn't 6 days incarceration on this. They just happened to find you because of this. Okay. You have the car. You owe him $300 for the car.
I actually owe him $260.
So why didn't you pay him?
I just honestly didn't have the money, but
So why didn't you give him back the car? And they would have given you back the software, given you back your $100.
up until this point we were friends, and they had another vehicle. So there was no real reason to. I was paying him in small payments. Actually, before they came and stole the car, I gave him $40 like 2 weeks before this happened.
Is that right?
That was on past bills, Your Honor. Bills because he didn't, on the last month that he lived with us, he didn't finish paying for his electric bill or his phone bill. And so we took this money for that.
No, that's not what I'm asking you, whether you took the money for that. Did he say, when he handed you the $40, did he say to you, this is for car payment?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, then you don't say, well, I'm not accepting this as a car payment, I'm going to put it towards your last month's bills. If he made the payment for the car, then he only owes you $260 for the car. So you agree you owe him $260 for the car?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Now tell me about what you claim he stole. You say he stole property.
Yes, Your Honor. On when we were released from jail, we had got evicted from our apartment, and my mother, Pauline Hall, she had packed my things. And when I was released from jail, I went through my stuff and I noticed items missing. One being $200 worth of movie tickets, one being a basketball, and computer paper.
So?
And when I went and asked my mother, I said, did you remember packing this stuff? And she told me yes, she did remember packing this stuff, plus she remembered seeing Jeff going through the things
Are you
after.
the mother?
Yes, ma'am.
Step up, please. What is your last name?
Hall, H-A-L-O.
You saw him take property?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you see him take? And when?
Okay, I asked him to move from my home because at this time he was living in my home.
You mean the defendant?
Yes, Jeff.
Yes.
And so I went to Jerry and Olga's apartment, and I was packing their things and bringing them into my garage as Jeff was moving his things out of my home. He was taking tables and chairs and basketballs and going through boxes. He had taken some food, that all of these things he said was his. Well, my daughter Janet told me not to let him do these things. And I said, I'm very tired. I just want to get these kids moved out of their apartment, and Jerry can deal with him on this matter later. About a week after this happened, Jeff and I had a phone conversation because Jeff had taken some things from my home that I wanted back. And he told me that he put $300 for the money that he had owed on the car in Jerry and Olga's checkings account. And I said, Jeff, that's a lie because they don't even have a checkings account. We closed that out.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jerry and Olga Lane say former friend Jeff Sandercock owes for the cost of a car and stolen property. Jeff says the Lanes crossed the line when they tried to repossess the car.
Did you take a basketball that belongs to him?
I honestly don't know. I moved a lot of stuff in that 2 days.
Do you have a basketball that doesn't belong to you at home?
I don't think so, no.
How much was the basketball?
It was probably about worth $20, Your Honor.
You more than made that up on the car. Sit down. So far, you owe him $260. Now, you want to tell me about your counterclaim? Take a deep breath. I'm ready.
Well, first of all, I had given him $500 worth of computer stuff. And it was a computer and a fax machine, printer, scanner.
Whatever, it was towards the car.
It was just
That was towards the car.
a ton of stuff.
I gave you credit for that, so you don't do double dipping here.
Right. But the reason why they took the car was because they had come over to the house when I was living with Pauline, and they had made mention of fleeing to Canada because his wife is an illegal immigrant. And they were thinking she was going to be deported for the electronic fraud that she had gone to jail for. So that's when they came and stole the car. And
I asked you a question. I'm on your counterclaim. Do you understand? You still owe $260 on the car. You agreed to pay $800. You didn't pay $800. You owe $260. You have a counterclaim. You say they took property. They owe you for computers, software, lost wages, and a whole bunch of pain and suffering. I'm waiting.
the software he had dropped about a week before this had happened. It was just a CD that I lent him, and he dropped it on the ground, and it scratched, and he said he was going to pay me for it. It was $80.
Next.
The day he stole the car, I was supposed to be at two clients' place, because I work for myself, and I couldn't get there, so I had to call and I had to cancel. So,
All right. Cry me a tear. Go ahead. What's next?
that was it. That was.
And that's your pain.
Right.
And you're suffering.
I had to call, and I had to, my name is on it. That's what they pay me for, is being dependable, and I couldn't be there.
Should have been there.
I couldn't. I didn't have a car. It was being stolen.
Call a cab. Call a taxi. Taxi. Or walk. You don't get paid for that. He owes you $260 for the car. Period.
Your Honor, about the matter about him losing wages, he was not in possession of the car.
Just 1 second. Listen to me carefully. I just dismissed it. I would like to dismiss him. He has no cause of action. He has no claim. Anything else you want to tell me?
Yes.
What?
First of all, I'm a legal resident. I'm not illegal resident of the United States. Then when he moved in with us, to live with us, I paid a deposit. He didn't pay his part. When he paid last money for the car, I said, this is for last bills. It's not for the car. This is for last bills.
Listen to me. You had the car for 2 weeks. You didn't even transfer the title to the car in your name. You made a $100 profit. That is a 20% profit. Is that right? 20% profit on what you, 25% profit on what you paid in 2 weeks. People could get that in the stock market these days. They would be very happy. Stop complaining. Goodbye.
He's not excused. You may step out.
The computer was worth way more than $500, for all the hardware and stuff.
Numerous times we came to Jeff and said, hey, for us to resume our our friendship, he needs to continue to pay for the car.
And now,
Yes, this is case number 282 on the calendar in the matter of Dawkins versus Morris. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Young lady, have a seat, please.
All right, this is a little complicated. Let me see if I can simplify it. Miss Dawkins, according to your complaint, about a year ago, your boyfriend was arrested and was incarcerated. The defendant was a friend and also was a paralegal by trade. You claim that you paid the defendant $2,500, that she said that she had an attorney who would be very good for your boyfriend, and that the $2,500 was a retainer. And then later, when he was given a public defender, she said that she would work with the public defender to file motions and do other things in her capacity as a paralegal. Is that correct?
Yes.
Subsequently, you found out from the attorney, the public defender, who had been assigned to represent your boyfriend, that he told her to stay out of it and not do anything. So you want your $2,500 back.
Right.
Is that this case?
That's it.
Ms. Morris says that the $2,500 was in fact paid to her, but it was for the return of a loan. Now, first tell me, just my own information, what was your boyfriend arrested for?
It's for a murder. He's still in prison right now.
And he still has a public defender.
Right.
Did the attorney who Miss Morris said that she had that would be very good for your boyfriend, did he ever appear in court?
No.
When did you give her this $2,500?
In November 2000.
Did you give it to her in check or cash?
I sent her a money order with cash.
You have a copy of that money order?
Yes.
I'd like to see it, please.
Well, Western Union. Receipt.
I'd like to see it. I'd like you to tell me, Ms. Dawkins, about the discussion that you had with her when you sent her this check.
Like you said, my boyfriend had went to prison, and because of that, we called on Paulette for legal advice, and she told us that she would see what she could do. And she told me that he would need a lawyer, and she had a friend that she was going to talk to. So she did that. I talked to Paulette a couple days later, and she told me that if I got $10,000, that we would be able to retain this lawyer. All I had at that time was $2,500, and his mother tried to come up with the rest of the money, but we couldn't. So he was given a conflict panel attorney, and we left it alone because we knew we weren't going to come up with the rest of the money. Then she told me that she had spoke with his attorney and that they agreed to work on that.
The attorney who was assigned
to him, yes. She told me that she had spoke with him and that they agreed to work on the case together, but since he got paid through the state, that I would have to give her the money that I had already had, the $2,500, for her to file the motions and to do some research on her own on my boyfriend's behalf.
Is that when you sent the money?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I sent the money from out of state because I was out there with some family. When I came back from out of state, I had got a hold of his attorney, and he told me that he told Paulette not to get involved with the case because she couldn't do anything but hurt it. I got suspicious about it because I had talked to my boyfriend. He told me Paulette had not attended any court dates since I had sent her the money.
Okay. Ms. Morris, I will hear you.
First of all, Your Honor, I've never seen or met Jessica before in my life. This is my first time ever laying eyes on her. As far
You were
as
a friend of her boyfriend's?
Yeah, he calls me Mom. I'm kind of like a mentor to him. And
Not such a good mentor if he's in jail for murder.
No, that...
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Prior to him being arrested, I've been helping him try to find a job. He really was pushing the pedal and finding a job. He eventually found a job. The date that he started his job, he got arrested, being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Prior to that, I had loaned the ex-boyfriend a total of $1,200 to help him with her to move into an apartment complex to get on his feet. And he told me that he would pay me back $100 a month. Mom, I will pay you $100 a month until I pay you back. And that's fine. It's no problem. I'm a gambler, Your Honor.
So, when you loaned him $1,200.
I loaned him $1,200.
Right.
And what he asked me to do was to find him an attorney, which I did. I had a friend who practices in criminal law. I have never, and I really get offended when someone refers to me as a paralegal because I've never even held myself out to be a paralegal. I don't even do paralegal work.
I'm not following you, Miss Morris. Is it your claim that you loaned the ex-boyfriend money and this $2,500 was repayment of that loan?
$1,200.
$1,200.
Okay.
Okay.
Now,
no, is that your claim? The $1,200 is a repayment of the loan?
Correct.
Okay. And what's the rest of the money for?
Okay. I went on behalf of him and I've gathered a lot of information out on the streets that I could get a lot better than investigators could get. And I gave the information to an investigator for the attorney. And at some point I didn't feel comfortable with it, so I gave the rest of the information to the MET unit, which is like a SMASH unit, a drug unit. In the meantime, Randy called me and asked me if I would take, first he called my daughter to ask if she would take his son, because his son was in some very serious danger. The son at the time was only 14 months old. Miss Dawkins here was in possession of Randy's son when the murder occurred. He was begging my daughter to take the baby. My daughter couldn't. So he says, I'll ask Mom. And I told him I would do it for $2,500 until he gets out, because raising a baby is not cheap. They couldn't come up with the full $2,500, so I said, okay, the 12 and the 13, $2,500, I will go ahead and do it. When you get out, him, the ex-boyfriend, and her were supposed to take the baby. Well, it ends up that he's still there. He's not in prison, Your Honor.
Where is he?
He's in a county jail. He's not been tried. He's not in prison. The case is still pending.
He's whatever.
Yeah.
He's not free.
Right.
Where did you get this money from, Miss Dawkins?
I had it saved up. And I have a letter.
This is your money?
Yes. I have a letter from Randy showing exactly why she took the money. It doesn't say anything about a loan that was given to him or...
This is the person who was
That's
incarcerated.
in jail, right.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jessica Dawkins says she gave money to her ex-boyfriend's friend, Paulette Morris, so she could retain a lawyer on his behalf. Jessica says Paulette blew the money.
Let me tell you the problem with your defense, Miss Morris. Your loan agreement was not with the plaintiff. Your loan agreement, if I believe you, was with a person who was incarcerated. And there is no proof that the person who was incarcerated paid that money, that she paid the money.
However, there is, Your Honor.
Tell me what that is.
The reason I'm being brought here today is because Ms. Dawkins found out that my daughter Kyla here, who was really close friends with Randy, was seeing Randy. She found out about that, and that's when holy hell came about. Her problem is between her and my daughter and Randy.
How old is your daughter?
My daughter's 19 years old.
What do you mean she was seeing Randy?
My daughter had a boyfriend at the time. Jessica was with Randy at the same time. They were all kind of hanging out and having fun together. I had no idea that they were seeing each other, you know, other than being friends.
Let me ask you this question, Ms. Dawkins. Did you ever have a telephone conversation with the defendant?
Yes.
When
Several.
did you have that telephone conversation?
I've had several conversations with her.
Relative to the $2,500?
Probably around June or July that I spoke with her and asked her about the money.
What do you mean asked her about what?
Because this is when I found out, this is when I had got back and I had spoke with Randy. He told me she had not been to his court dates. Since I gave him the money, he hasn't heard from her. So I had called her up to see what was going on with that money and why she wasn't doing what she promised. And that's when she told me she had the baby, and I have never had custody of Randy's son, ever.
Who asked you to send this money?
She asked me to send this money to her.
Did you speak to Randy first?
Yes, but he did not tell me to give her the money. I didn't speak with Randy that much because they're collect calls. I can't speak with him that much. I spoke with the defendant, and she told me she would need the money to file motions and do research.
Miss Morris, where is this child now?
The child is residing with me. In January, I will be adopting the child. I have a letter here from Randy as well, asking the judge court, and it is in the papers as to him wanting me to take the baby. As far as me not going to Randy's court appearances or anything, he requested me not to for the safety of the baby.
Well, this letter does not give you the ability to adopt the child.
No,
I have. Give his consent.
I have the.
Did you file a petition to adopt the child?
I have the petition for guardianship.
Guardianship is not adoption.
No, the laws have changed within 1 year in January. The adoption procedures will be will start exactly.
Can start. His parental rights have to be terminated.
Terminated
Where's
within
the mother?
1 year. The mother is in a youth halfway home. She just got out of juvenile hall.
Are you paid any money by the state?
Now
Ms.
I am.
Morris?
Yes, I am.
Let me finish. There is a procedure that is used in this country. It's called kinship foster care, or foster care with someone that you know. So the state gives you money every month for taking care of the baby. How much do you receive from the state?
$406.
And how long has the child been with you?
The child has been with me since January 2nd. I began receiving payments in about March.
So March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So you've received 8 payments?
Approximately, yes.
Is that right? So you've received $3,200 so far. So this money that you say he's supposed to give you for taking care of the child, you have been reimbursed for taking care of the child by
yes,
the state.
I had no
by
choice.
the state.
Right.
By the state.
And what happened was when the child was brought to me, the child came to me with just a shirt, a dirty diaper, and a bottle. I had to completely furnish a room, completely buy all clothing, all items that a baby would need to
The
sustain
state
him.
also gives you a stipend for that clothing allowance.
No, I got that later on.
But I know that you get a clothing allowance and a stipend, and also money to furnish a room.
$100.
I know that you get. I know that you get that.
$100
So don't say no. Yes, you do. You get $100 for what?
a year
For what?
for a clothing allowance.
Okay. Well, you get $400 a month. The child that age doesn't eat $100 a week.
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
But the child wears diapers. The child had bottles.
Right.
The child needed clothing.
Right.
The child has daycare. I work.
No, you don't pay for the daycare for the child.
Exactly. It comes
exactly.
from the
So
money.
don't tell me you have daycare because the state pays for the daycare for
No,
the child.
it comes out of the $400.
No. The state pays for daycare with daycare vouchers if
That
you're
is
working.
not true, Your Honor.
I don't know what state you come from.
He's not a foster child, Your Honor. He's a ward. He's my ward. I'm his legal guardian. When I do put him into a facility, once he's potty trained, it goes according to my income.
So who babysits for the child?
Whoever I can get to babysit for him.
Who do you get to babysit for
Usually
the
my
child?
relatives or some really
Right.
close friends.
Okay. Good.
And
I
also,
gotcha.
Your Honor, here...
I gotcha.
Okay. On the other point, the papers that I'm showing here where I did give Randy the money for him and the apartment for him and Jessica, which they both were dwelling in, is here. My daughter been
Were
there.
you living in an apartment that she helped fund?
No, I didn't know anything about that. If she helped Randy fund an apartment, then Randy needs to pay her back.
Right.
Did
Right.
she
So
reside
I did
in the
not know.
apartment?
Doesn't make any difference.
I didn't know anything about any
The
money that
loan
he
was
gave
not
her.
made to her. The loan was made to him. If you had a misjudgment, Ms. Morris, with regard to person to whom you made a loan, you can't visit that on her. And there is no proof that the money that she sent you, the $2,500, came from Randy.
I know it didn't come from Randy.
Well, if it didn't come from Randy, it has to go back to her. And if he ever gets out of jail because you say he was in the wrong place at the wrong time, then I assume that he will be acquitted of these horrendous charges. And at that time, I assume he'll pay you the money back that he owes you. But that's not her responsibility. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. That's all.
Parties
you,
are
Your Honor.
excused. You may step out.
I honestly believe that it was behind jealousy because of my daughter and her ex-boyfriend.
There are plenty of men out there. I don't need to hold on to someone that's in jail that's going to mess with someone like that.
Melissa and Raymond Musser are suing their neighbors, 25-year-old administrative assistant Michelle Riffle and her father, Skip Riffle. The Mussers claim Michelle's 6-year-old son, DJ, is responsible for the death of their puppy.
Order. All rise. Yes, this is case number 369 on the calendar in the matter of Musser versus Riffle. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Little people, have seats.
Mr. and Mrs. Musser, I've read your complaint very carefully, and I have read the response from the defendants. Because of the sensitive nature of some of the allegations in your complaint and in the answer, I'm going to ask the children leave the courtroom because unless I absolutely need them, I don't think that they should be here. Tell me your name.
DJ.
How old are you, DJ?
6.
And who is this lady sitting with you?
My grandma.
Would you like to go outside with your grandma for a little while? Good. I think that's a good idea. And who is this?
Mackenzie.
And how old are you, Mackenzie?
6.
Are you a friend of DJ's? Do you live next door? I'm going to ask you to go out with DJ's grandma, okay? She's going to take the two of you outside. All right? Good. Beautiful children.
You okay?
Thank you.
Okay. You had a puppy,
Yes, we did.
and I gather this was from a litter of puppies that you had.
Yes.
You decided to keep this puppy. It had some special medical problems, and you dealt with those medical problems and had some substantial vet bills. The little boy, DJ, is next door neighbor, and he lives with you,
He lives with me. I live with my parents.
and you're his grandfather.
Correct.
Here's Mom.
Yes.
And it is your allegation that DJ, when he was 5, is responsible for the death of your puppy while he was playing in your backyard.
Correct.
Which is a fenced-in backyard. It's your claim that he, either alone or with some other little children that he was playing with, put the puppy in a cooler and put a rock over the cooler, and the puppy must have suffocated.
Correct.
And you want the defendants to be responsible for the dog and to pay minimally all the vet bills that you had as a result of bringing your dog up until the point when she was killed, right?
Correct.
That's what the lawsuit is about.
Yes.
And I am going to assume, for the purpose of this trial, that it is true that DJ and or the little boys that he was with put the dog in the cooler. Not maliciously, because it's your claim that he was afraid the dog would get out of the fenced yard and they just put the dog in the cooler in order to make sure that the dog didn't get away. I don't feel as if it's necessary to question this child about it because I'm sure it's a very traumatic event. So I am going to assume for this trial that DJ did in fact cause the death of your dog. Do you both understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And then the question becomes responsibility. Are the defendants actually responsible for his actions? So I have a few questions for you. First, how old was your dog?
The dog was only a couple months old, maybe 3 at the most.
Well, you should know.
She was born on March 6th.
She was born in March, so it was...
Almost 3 months. She was like a week away from being 3 months.
And was this dog the only one you kept from the litter?
Yes.
I also believe that their dog fathered this litter. Is that right?
We're not sure who the father is.
What kind of dog was it?
I have a dachshund, and I have pictures of the puppy.
I'd like to see the picture. What were the medical problems with the puppy?
First, the animal had suffered a broken leg, and these are pictures of the dog with the broken leg.
How did the dog suffer a broken leg?
Another neighbor child broke its leg, and they reimbursed us for the leg.
Another neighbor's child broke the leg?
Yeah, threw the puppy down because the puppy had got him dirty, and the mom felt responsible and reimbursed us for the payment of the leg.
This puppy did not have a good life. Now, did you allow the neighbor's children to come into your yard to play with the puppy?
He had come to my door one day and asked if he could play with the puppy, and I said, not with
You mean DJ?
Yes. And I said she had just gotten her cast off. I said, I don't want you guys in my yard unless I'm there, because I felt like if her leg was already sensitive after the cast was off, I was worried about it getting rebroken or something.
So you told him that?
Yes, I told him no.
And how much before the day that the puppy died did you have that conversation with the little boy?
About 3 days before.
Now tell me what happened on the day that you found the puppy in the cooler.
I had went out to dinner with a friend of mine, and my husband called me on my cell phone and said, I had actually put the puppy out back that day because I had a Girl Scout meeting, and while the Girl Scouts were there, I said, you can't be in the house, you're not potty trained yet. So I stuck her out because we have a fenced-in yard. Here's a picture of our yard. And I had put the puppy out back, and then my husband, after the Girl Scouts left, a friend of mine and we went to dinner, and my husband called me and said, have you seen Frosty? And I said, no. Can you please look for her? Maybe somebody had taken her, because a lot of people had thought she was cute in the neighborhood. And that's when he was looking for her. And
I'd come home earlier that day, just after the puppy was put out, and there were the neighborhood boys in our backyard playing with the puppy. When I came in, one of the boys left, and I had gone into the house to just relax after work. And hours later, after I'd gone outside to bring the dogs in, check on the kids that were out playing, we couldn't find the one dog. We looked around the neighborhood, couldn't find the animal. We talked to several neighborhoods, and nobody had seen the animal. When I'd gone into my backyard, I noticed a rock on top of my cooler.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Melissa and Raymond Musser claim neighbor Michelle Riffle's son killed their puppy when he put the dog in a cooler. Michelle says the puppy's death was an accident.
So, am I correct, Mr. Musser, that when you came home, you found some of the neighborhood children in your backyard?
Correct.
Did you tell them to leave?
No, I did not. At the time they were playing with the puppy, I didn't see any harm.
Was DJ one of those children?
Yes, he was, ma'am.
Now, what makes you think that this was an intentional act?
I don't think it was intentional, ma'am. And I don't think he did it to kill the puppy. And that's never been an issue. It was an accident. I'm sure the child did not know that this would result in the death of the puppy.
So you, by permitting the children to remain there and not telling them to leave, actually gave them license to be playing with the dog.
Yes.
How many children were in the yard playing with the puppy?
When I first pulled in, there were 3.
DJ and 2 others?
Yes, ma'am. And when I had come in the gate, the one child went home. And so it was just DJ and another child left there.
About the same age, 5 years old?
Correct.
Okay. Now, who was responsible for supervising DJ on that day?
Raymond was.
Why would I be responsible for
No, don't speak, sir.
At the time that the death of the puppy, Lisa was watching my daughter and DJ when he came home from school from kindergarten after school until my mother returned home from work about 2 or 3 that afternoon.
So Mrs. Musser was watching your child
She watched my daughter and DJ when he returned from kindergarten about 12 until my
Had you
mother.
made an arrangement with her to do that before?
Yes, I did.
Was this a regular routine? Do you pay her for that service?
Since December of 2000.
Do you pay her for that service?
I did pay her.
So there was nobody in your house?
At about 3 o'clock, about 3 o'clock, I don't know what time my mother came home. She's a witness today, so I don't know apparently what time she came home.
What day was this happened?
It happened on May 23rd, and I was not babysitting. I had quit before that. I had quit at the end of April, the 1st of May, because things were happening with the babysitting. I wasn't being paid on time, and I wasn't babysitting since December. It was January 1st.
And not only that, ma'am, I get off work at 4:30. It takes me an hour to get home. So I got home around 5:30, well after the time her mother was home.
Okay. Yes.
He just indicated, Your Honor, he came home early that day. He does normally come home about 4 or 5, but he indicated he came home early, saw the boys playing, so he
It
was
could have
home
been,
early.
so he got home at 3. Still after that time, your wife would have been home.
Correct.
So that somebody was home at that point. So you are mistaken that they were responsible for babysitting for
You're
your
right.
son. So your mother at that point was responsible for him. Is that right?
You're right, correct.
What time did you get home?
I usually got home about between 6:15 and 6:30, depending on the traffic.
And what time did you discover the puppy in the cooler?
It had to be around 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Now I'd like to see the bills that you have. How many other dogs do you have, by the way?
We have one.
Just one? Just a mother? And this little puppy?
Yes.
What did all the bills come to?
At the one point we discussed that the bill would be taken care of by Mr. Riffle. We shook hands and made an agreement on $165. That was to take care of the major vet bill for this puppy, checkups, shots. But at one point there was an agreement to pay $165. There was a handshake.
And what happened with that?
It never happened. What happened after that was he wanted receipts. Still nothing happened. The last time we discussed it, we went for a ride, and he wanted to pay $99 for the puppy and wanted me to have a letter rescinded or taken back, or an apology letter that was sent to him by another group of animal activists.
What kind of group of animal activists?
Your Honor, it's PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. We never accepted responsibility for the death of the puppy. We wanted it to end. The reason that I'm involved is I went to them and said, we're sorry about the death of the puppy. It's a cute puppy, looked just like his dad, just a darling puppy, and we were fond of that dog. And it was traumatic for us as well as for the boys to have that happen. I went to the Mussers and I went to Raymond and said, Raymond, what can we do? And his initial response was, what we want you to do is I want the boys brought here and I want to tell them that was wrong. I was apprehensive about that, but I said I'd agree to do that. And as I started to leave, Raymond says, no, the best thing to happen is to have the parents talk to the boys and have all these boys write a letter of apology to Lisa. All 3 of those boys did that, and there is a correction. All 3 of those boys were there. If you saw the other boy leave, it's incorrect, because when my wife went out to get the boys, they're all in front of the house sitting on a rock, and I have some photographs of that. And so Raymond told me, we don't want any money for the puppy, we want an apology. They did that. All 3 of those boys cried that night.
You understand why I didn't want them in the room?
Thank you. All 3 of those little boys were and they're really upset that that happened, and they did that. One little boy even took some flowers over. And so we thought the issue was over with. And then a couple days later, in a school gathering with people all around, Mrs. Musser approaches my daughter and says, we understand that your son intentionally killed that puppy, and we want $150.
Just a second. What made you think that he intentionally harmed the puppy?
I never said that. I said, the puppy died, we have expenses. I said, what can we do about it? She says, how much do you want? I said, 150 will cover what we had. And she said, will that keep you quiet then? And I said, sure. And then when I asked her about a week later, I said, are you going to pay me the 150 like you'd promised? She said, I didn't promise you I was going to pay you. I just said, would that keep you quiet?
All right, what?
Your Honor, that's incorrect.
All right, what happened
I
with
can
regard
tell
to
you
the-
what happened because she did it to me. She approached me and she stated that me and my husband need to talk to you. I said, about what? Well, we just found out DJ intentionally killed our puppy. I said it was an accident. She goes, putting a puppy in a cooler is an accident. She said, he's a 6-year-old boy. He doesn't understand that. I'm like, what do you want us to do? And she says, well, we sold the other puppies for $150. And I said, fine, because I did not want to deal with it with the parents there, the children there. I said, fine, turned around, she walked away. I was very shook up and very upset.
Of course. What's this thing from Peter? Just let's get to it quickly.
When Raymond indicated that he didn't think the boys intentionally killed the puppy, I went to him after this $150 incident at the school, and I said, Raymond, you told me you didn't want any money. We did what you asked us to do. Do you want money to compensate for the puppy? He again told me no. And as we got down the road, it became evident that they wanted some money for the puppy. In the meantime, we get a letter from PETA.
Can I see it, please?
And in the letter, it states, Your Honor, that they intentionally, without remorse, killed this puppy. We were heartbroken.
Now, what are you showing me here?
That was included in the letter
okay,
to
so you
indicate
got a
that
letter.
these poor 6-year-old children are going to be mass murderers.
Okay. All right, the letter's a little heavy, but what it says is, on May 22nd of this year, the boys apparently forced a neighbor's puppy into a cooler and weighted the lid down with bricks. We are told, and this is the people from PETA, that the children have admitted their roles in the puppy's death and that they have shown no remorse, which clearly, according to you, is not true. But then the bulk of the letter goes on to talk about the fact that children who have a history of torturing animals, unless there is intervention immediately, can grow up with serious antisocial characteristics, and therefore PETA is trying to inspire you to get help for your son if you need it. Because it says, by teaching your children compassion and empathy, you will help ensure that such incidents will not recur and that DJ and David will never find themselves in the system. It's a heavy letter. There's no question about that. They're really trying to be helpful in their own heavy way. Yeah, you can say something.
I have one more thing to say. This wasn't the first incident, not with him killing a puppy, but he had taken my daughter shoplifting, my little one, and we got a call from the store that they were shoplifting at, and my husband went and picked up Mackenzie from the store. It's like, we timed it on our car, it's almost a mile away from our house, and he had wrote me another apology note for taking her and not telling us where they were going, and that's why I was not babysitting when the puppy died, because I had it. I could not. We just had a lot of incidences with DJ and Mackenzie, and I just felt like it would be better just to...
They're 5-year-olds. 5-year-olds have to be supervised all the time, right?
Absolutely.
And clearly, at the time of this incident, your 5-year-old was not being supervised properly. That means that the person responsible, in this case your mother, who you left in charge of the child because it was when she was home from work, should have been watching more closely as to where he was and what he was doing. But Mr. Musser, if you came home and found the children playing with your puppy, because this is not clearly a locked fence, and told them to leave, and they did leave, and then they came back at some other point, I would find the defendants totally responsible. But by your allowing, despite the fact that your wife had said to the 5-year-old, you know, don't come in today and play with the puppy because a few days earlier because the puppy's leg is just getting better, you clearly didn't have a problem with the boys playing with the puppy because not only did you permit it, but you left, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you two are partially responsible because just as they are responsible for the actions of their 5-year-old, you should be responsible for what goes on in your own backyard. In this case, you allowed these children to remain in your backyard and play with the puppy. And that despite the fact that your puppy had a broken leg by the hands of another little child playing a little too rough with the puppy, which was not smart. Don't you feel any responsibility at all?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
Good.
But one other thing, you know, at the point the kids were all friends. I didn't see the harm. They weren't picking the puppy up.
Well, you didn't know that, sir. The moment that you saw them, they weren't picking the puppy up. But when you went into the house, you didn't keep your eye on them outside. Not only did you keep your eye on them, but you left. Listen, there's no question that the parents of this 5-year-old are partially responsible because he was inadequately supervised. But at the same token, you inadequately supervised this fragile puppy. So you are equally as responsible.
Your Honor?
Yes.
I have a curiosity why there were 3 boys involved and we're the only one here in court today.
I have no idea why you're the only ones here, sir. But you are the only ones here. And you have to take responsibility. There is a certain responsibility. Your wife should have been watching a 5-year-old out at play more carefully. And Mr. Musser should have been more vigilant about taking care of a small puppy, and he was not. And if the bills for this puppy added up to $165, I believe that you should each cover half of those bills because each of you is responsible for not doing your jobs. Listen, stop showing me papers. More importantly, it seems that you live next door. You're going to continue to live next door. You have kids together, and despite the fact that you say, I don't want DJ to be around my daughter because he took her to the store and they were shoplifting, been there. You have to be more vigilant in watching your children. But you're going to be there, and it's a terrible thing to have to remain next-door neighbors and not be civil to each other. So, he's a nice little boy. He'll probably grow up and graduate from high school and graduate from college and be just fine. And your little girl will be none the worse for wear for a little shoplifting when she was 4. All right, I'm sure she won't do it again. Be nice to each other, be friends, watch out for your property, and make sure that your children are supervised. That's all. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $82.50.
Parties are excused. You may step back. Yes.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Morgan versus King. Step forward, please.
Carpenter Gwen Morgan is suing her niece, 20-year-old hotel reservationist LaToya King, for vandalizing her car. LaToya denies the charge.
Ms. Morgan, I've read your complaint. The defendant is your niece, and it is your claim that she vandalized your car. You're going to tell me why you think she would do such a thing, and then, more importantly, you're going to tell me what proof you have that she did it. So let's start with the whys first. Why would she vandalize your car?
Well, around the beginning of December, I was called to my mother's house.
Your niece was living with your mother?
She lives with my mother.
For how long were you living with, is that your grandmother?
I lived with her all my life.
She ill?
Yes.
Who else lives there at the house with you?
Right now, just my grandpa and my son.
Is he all right? Your grandfather?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So then LaToya came home, and LaToya and the young man came to my mama's house, and we got into an argument because she didn't want the check to go direct deposit. She wanted to come to the mailbox.
What check is she talking about?
This SSI check. I have the paperwork.
SSI check for whom?
My nephew, which is her half-brother.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
Who's in charge of your brother's
My
SSI
grandmother.
check? Your grandmother is.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you have to do with that?
Well, the thing is, I'm my mother's provider because my mother's ill and mostly bedridden.
What do you mean she's your provider? What does that mean?
In-care healthcare provider for the elderly people.
You don't live there?
No, I don't, but I was hired to take care of her.
Whatever, I don't want to get into that. You got into an argument with your niece over who was going to be in charge.
Over a check. Whose check was going to be?
You got into an argument with your niece over who was going to be in charge of finances.
Whether the check come
I don't care.
direct deposit or
finances, please. I don't have time to go into the whole thing. It's not necessary.
Okay.
That's what the argument was about.
Yes.
The argument was about money.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He taunts me all the time.
What did he say?
He said, ha B, that's why we tore your car up. You tried to sue the wrong person.
Don't make a big story for me. I'm asking you a question. Stop making it up as you go.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Gwen Morgan says after a family argument, her niece, LaToya King, vandalized her car. LaToya says her aunt has a lot of enemies.
Ms. Morgan, when was the argument about money? Give me the date.
On December 27th.
When was your car vandalized?
Well, I woke up on the 28th I got out there about 6 o'clock a.m.
And your car was vandalized?
Yes.
You have pictures of the car?
Yes.
Can I see them, please? Okay, clearly somebody vandalized your car. They flattened your tires, scratched it up, painted it up. Nasty. Now, the next question is, what proof do you have that your niece was responsible for this damage?
Okay, after the disturbance, she called the police and told the police all kind of lies where he just wrote an incident disturbance report. So I went home to my apartment and she kept calling my house, telling me that if I didn't come back over there to fight her and the young man, that she was going to come over to my house and tear my car up. She wanted me to come out in the rain and fight with both of them.
Do you have a police report?
No, I just have the case number for the police.
Okay. Ms. King, want to try to explain to me what happened at your house?
First of all, she has a lot of enemies, but I know that's irrelevant. But the reason why we got into an argument was because she was trying to put her name on my brother's check, which my grandmother didn't want it. And how we got into an argument, me and my boyfriend was already at the house, and she came in. I didn't know what was going on. She was holding my grandmother down, making my brother go through her purse looking for his bank statements and all this. Why? I'm not sure.
What do you mean she was holding your grandmother down?
She was holding my grandmother down, making
what does that
my
mean?
brother, like forcing her to not grab her purse from my brother, which my brother is mentally challenged, so he's easily to be manipulated. So it's not his fault or anything, but she was holding her down. So I'm like, what are you doing? And then that's when we got into an argument. She was trying to fight me, but I didn't want to fight her. I just called the police.
And the police responded?
Yes. They came and they asked her to leave.
Is that correct? Did they tell you to leave?
They asked me to leave.
You know anything about her car?
No, ma'am. I mean, I didn't do anything to it, but I heard about it.
Why don't you tell me what you heard?
Her friend called my grandmother and told her that Gwen was hurt. Somebody had vandalized her car, and she was all upset to please call her. My grandmother told me, Latoya, Gwen may be hurt. The reason why my grandmother wasn't talking to her is because she took my grandmother to court and tried to sue her for $500 for the paperwork that she did for my brother, which my mom asked her to do.
What do you know about who vandalized her car?
I don't know anything about who vandalized it. That's how I heard it.
Did you vandalize her car?
No.
Ms. Morgan, she may have vandalized your car and he may have vandalized your car. You the boyfriend?
Yes.
I don't know. It's possible, but possible doesn't go in court. Do you understand, Ms. Morgan? You have to have proof.
Well, he told me that they did it.
Really?
Yes, he told me.
Oh, let me, just a second, step up.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Ms. Morgan, what did he say to you and when did he say it?
He taunts me all the time.
What did he say?
He said, ha, B, that's why we tore your car up. You tried to sue the wrong person, but I tore your car up, me and Latoya tore it up, and they told me over the phone that they was going to tear it up if I didn't come out to fight. And
where were you when he said to you, we tore your car up?
Going down my mother's main cross street. I go over to by my mother sometimes because I know people that live in the area because I've been over there all my life.
Don't make a big story for me. I'm asking you a question. Stop making it up as you're going. When and where were you when he first told you that he tore up your car, madam?
It was on a Sunday 2 weeks ago on the corner by my mother's house on Cypress Street.
I don't believe that, Miss Morgan. I don't believe that he told you 2 weeks ago, this past Sunday, as you were going by your mother's house. I believe that they might have done it. That's not the issue. I believe you just made up that story.
No, he taunts me all the time. He does. Every time he sees me, he teases me, telling me that they tore my car.
Well, then he's not a very nice person. Did you ever do that?
I don't speak to this lady. I do not speak to her at all.
Miss Morgan, when you come to court, unfortunately, you understand you have to have proof. You don't have any proof that your niece tore up your car, and you don't have any proof that he tore up your car, and I don't believe that he admitted it to you, so your case is dismissed. That's all.
Now, this is case number 470 on the calendar in the matter of Hale versus Knighthead.
Thank you, bud.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Mr. Hale, you and some friends, and clearly the defendant and his wife, were at a concert, and it is your claim that they assaulted you. You want to be compensated because you were injured. So you want to be compensated for your pain and suffering and for the concert tickets. The defendants indicate that you started this, what turned out to be an altercation, and that it's your fault. So, what kind of concert was it?
It was a share concert.
And who did you go with, sir?
I went with Brad and two other friends.
Where were you seated?
Probably in the second top tier of the arena, so kind of high up, about mid-arena.
Were you sitting in front of or behind the defendants?
In front of, row down, about 3 feet down below them.
One row or two?
Just one.
So you were seated immediately in front of them?
Directly in front of them.
Is that right?
Down front.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now tell me what happened.
We got there probably about 7:15, found a place to park, and on the way to the concert, found just a little place to stop and have a bite to eat, had a beer, and went on to the concert. Got there probably about 8:15, 8:30, got situated in our seats.
So you got there after the show started?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
We watched the first act, which was Cyndi Lauper. Of course, went to concession.
No, you couldn't have watched the whole first act because you got there an hour
We'll
late.
watch the rest of the first act. And made a trip or two to the concession.
For what?
In the meantime.
For what?
For a beer or nachos or...
So you had several beers by that
Just a couple,
time.
yes, ma'am.
You had several beers before you actually
Yes, ma'am, a
started to
couple.
watch Cher.
Uh-huh.
Now, did you or any member of your group get up to go for refreshments during the act?
Maybe once.
So let me understand this, Mr. Hale. You make the trip in to go to a concert. You decide to arrive late. You disturbed a whole bunch of people, you and your friends, getting into your seats.
I wouldn't say disturbed.
Sure you
ma'am,
did.
but-
Well, you wouldn't say it because you're a young, foolish man. So after having arrived late and disturbing all the people around you, either you or one of your idiot friends or all of you get up to go again, once or maybe twice, to a concession stand for another beer or nachos. So you disturb everybody again.
Well, we were right on an end row that we could just
Oh,
go
no,
right
you
down the
weren't.
steps.
There were people behind you, sir. And it wouldn't have made any difference to you whether there were people you had to disturb anyway.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Well, you were disturbing people, sir. You kept getting up and getting back in your seats, right?
Well, it was kind of consensus. Everybody, that's kind of how it was going.
I don't understand
Oh,
what
I
you're
hear you.
talking about, sir. Well,
Well-
it's kind of a consensus. What does that mean?
There were other people around us that were up and down, and there were small intermissions between the actual intermission. So, I mean, I didn't feel that we were up, going up and down, disturbing the people behind us.
Well, you were.
Okay?
When people come to a theater late, they're usually rude. They usually just care about themselves and don't give a hoot about anybody else, but sometimes it's unavoidable. So aside from getting up and down during the performance and arriving late, one or both of these people asked you during the course of the performance to sit down.
That's correct.
And they asked you to sit down because they couldn't see. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, how many of you and your friends were standing?
There were 4 of us.
How were you all
Yes.
standing?
Yes, ma'am. If I may explain why we were standing, I would like to. There was a whole row of girls in front of us that had tiaras and feather boas, and just everybody was dancing. And we explained to the defendants, as when these people stood, we had to stand as well to see the concert. And we tried to explain to the defendants that, they asked us to sit down. We said, well, if we sit down, you're still not going to be able to see because every row in front of us is standing up. So if we sit down, we can't see, nor will you be able to. So I'm
Is
sorry.
that what you carefully explained to
Yes,
them?
ma'am, the first time. Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
And the defendant, he kindly started getting a little rude. And so I returned the favor, and I was just like, sir, we cannot sit down. At that point, they started to get quite belligerent. And next thing I know, Mr. Knight leaned down to the back of my head and said, you will sit down, in a very, very threatening manner. And so we just decided that was it. Just ignore him, just continue standing, because we couldn't see if we sat down either, and just finish out the concert and just ignore them. Cher was into about our 4th or 5th song, and all of a sudden I felt just a pull at my collar, kind of collar I'm wearing now, and then just a fist. I got hit here, pump knots all around my head. He just went just continuously. My witness saw what was going
Don't
on.
tell me what he saw.
Okay.
Step up. So, Mr. Knight punched Mr. Hale
Yes.
several times.
Several times.
And then what did you see?
I was facing like this, and all of a sudden I heard this commotion and looked over, and he had him by the collar with one hand,
No,
beating
he
the
was
other.
punching him.
Right.
But what was Miss Head doing?
As I was trying to get him off of him, I was kicked or something about this area of me as I turned like that to assist him. And at that point is when we finally got broke away.
Okay.
Your Honor.
Yes.
I'm sorry. They took the lady out in handcuffs. It says in my police report that when the police got up there, that Mrs. Head was striking down at my friend.
So, as far as you know, she didn't touch you.
I don't believe that she touched me. I didn't know.
So
Like I said,
why is she a defendant? Why did you sue her?
because she was to my back, and I just was getting hit from back and forth. I didn't know what was going on.
Okay.
I had no idea what was going on
Good.
behind me.
Now, Mr. Knight,
Yes, ma'am.
now I'll hear you.
Well, as you said,
We went to the
You
concert.
went to the concert, they were seated in front of you and they were standing up.
That's correct.
Go ahead. Anybody else standing up?
No, ma'am.
Nobody?
No, ma'am.
No, Mr. Knight. Mr. Knight, that's not true. Just because I was on his case, I don't want you to think you have a friend in me. When you go to a Cher concert and everybody's doing their thing, there are a lot of people standing up. So don't tell me that there weren't other people standing up.
I saw no one standing in front of him when they were there, except for them standing up. And I did ask him to sit down.
And you punched him.
I punched him after he pushed me, yes, ma'am. Several times.
No.
There was no pushing.
Mr. Knight, you punched him. He didn't assault you first. You got frustrated because he was ignoring you.
No, ma'am.
Tell me how he pushed you, sir. He's sitting in front of you, his back is towards you, and he's had a few beers, so he is feeling pretty good.
Yes, ma'am.
You tell him you will sit down.
No, ma'am.
No.
Yes,
I
sir.
asked him if he would sit down so that the people behind him could see.
Right. No, you did that the first time.
Yes, ma'am.
And
And he
probably
told
the
me at that point that he bought his effing ticket and he would do what he wanted to.
Probably close.
About the third time.
Quiet. Go ahead.
Then I leaned forward. I did not touch him whatsoever. I said, buddy, if you'll look around, there's no one else standing.
That's not true.
I don't want to hear you.
It's ridiculous.
I don't want to hear you.
Sorry.
You are rude.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And at that point, he turned around and looked at me and pushed me in my chest and said, F you. I caught myself at the back of the seat. When I turned back and looked at him, I don't know his intoxicated state or what, but it looked aggressive like he was going to hit me.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
And so when I stood back up, I did punch him, yes, ma'am. And I punched him several times. A young lady that was with him was trying to attack Debbie. I was in between them. There was no other altercations. He went and got security while I stood there between the lady that was with him and Debbie. Security came. They did escort us out. We were issued a citation for disorderly conduct. They were allowed to go back inside to the concert. I guess we missed the last 3 songs that Cher sang. We went to our car and went home. As far as I was concerned,
The evening was a bust.
yes, ma'am.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And later today,
When we were dating, it was long term and I wanted her to move down with me, and she also wanted to live down there with me as well. And when she moved down, everything was fine until people found out on campus.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Student Charles Hale says Terry Knight assaulted him at a Cher concert. Terry says Charles was blocking his view.
I'd like to see the police reports, please.
Would you like pictures too, or?
Yeah, sure. I want to see them.
Thank you. And of course, it didn't get the pump knots on my head because they were not able to be pictured, but as you know, he did hit me 3 or 4 times.
I'm reading the police report here. The victim, that's you,
Yes, ma'am.
was somewhat intoxicated.
Which I told you I'd had a few, yes.
Shouldn't have gone drunk to a concert.
We weren't drunk, ma'am.
Sure you were.
No, we weren't.
Listen, a police officer is used to filing things that are very specific, says you're intoxicated. Intoxicated means drunk. Just a nice way. It's longer. But intoxicated is drunk.
I beg to differ. I'm sorry.
You can differ all you like, sir. Give me the definition of intoxicated.
She probably smelled alcohol in the breath, and I was
No.
visibly upset, and
No.
but I wasn't
It's-
stumbling or mumbling or.
How do you know?
I was pretty well on my wits after being
Really?
beat.
Okay, it's not what the officer said. The officer says intoxicated.
I don't feel that deserved a.
Absolutely not. You are absolutely right. Just because you're intoxicated and acting stupid does not give him license to put his hands on you. You're absolutely right.
He put his hands on me first.
I don't believe that.
Okay.
No. Mr. Knight, I don't believe that. I believe that you were real frustrated with his behavior. And I believe he opened up a big fresh mouth to you. I do believe all of those things. But I do not believe that you had any cause to put your hands on him. Now, you were not injured. You had your neck scratched, and he had no right to do that. I want you to tell me what you believe is fair compensation for that.
It's even.
I want just to give me a figure. I want you to tell me what you believe is fair compensation for that.
I believe $1,500 for, because with the scratch on the neck and the bruise on the neck, which are evident there were pump knots on my head. I missed the whole rest of that week of school because of headaches from just, and the whole last of the concert, the whole last of Cher, who we had gone to see, was spent down in the bottom half of the arena giving
Well, you missed the
statements.
first half of the concert. You missed the first part of the concert. You missed the second part of the concert, sir. First part you did on your own volition. Second part you did because you were acting like a fool. I think $1,500 is excessive. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I didn't see anybody with pom-poms and all this stand up.
He evidently needs his glasses fixed because everybody around us was standing up dancing. It was a concert.
But, you know, I hadn't been drinking.
And it wasn't Metallica, did not merit his beating.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Culp versus Deason. Step forward, please.
Jeffrey Culp and his wife Nancy are suing Nancy's daughter, 23-year-old telemarketer Christy Deason, for the cost to bail her out of jail and for an unpaid loan to get back on her feet.
Mr. and Mrs. Culp, this is your daughter. Is that right?
My stepdaughter.
And how long have you been married to her mother?
We've been married for 9 years, been together a total of 16.
And how old was Miss Deason when you came into her life?
8 years old.
Is that right? Yes. Your lawsuit says that your daughter owes you some money for bail and then some money that you loaned her to help her get back on her feet after a series of mishaps and missteps. The total of those loans is under $1,000.
That's correct.
Your daughter says that there was never an agreement to pay that money back. These were not loans. This was what family does for each other when they're in trouble. And Mr. and Mrs. Culp, I'm here to tell you that I've read your complaint, and quite simply, the complaint says she called you one night a year and a half ago from jail. She had been arrested for what?
Possession of marijuana.
And she said, please come and bail me out. You did.
That's correct.
And then later on, you loaned her money for some clothes and some startup money so that she could get on her feet. So, I have a question for you. I don't believe in going to court when you have family. Mother, child, father, child, child against parent, unless it's so much money that it really is life-altering money. $987 doesn't come under the category, to me, of life-altering money for anybody. Is that a fair statement?
That is a fair statement.
This is not life-altering money. So then, you tell me why you chose to make an issue of this money, and I'm sure there have been other monies, but why you chose to make an issue of this money rather than just saying, look, I'm not going to loan her any more money, I'm going to write this off. Explain that to me.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I do take care of my son. I do not get child support.
Where's his father?
He doesn't help me.
Why doesn't he help you?
I've got an answer for that, Your Honor. He's useless.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jeffrey and Nancy Culp say their daughter, Christy Deason, owes for bail money and an unpaid loan.
Go ahead.
Well, Your Honor, the money is of little consequence. There has been a history of loans made to Christy. We put her into an apartment. We paid her utilities to get her set up on her own. I spent a year with her child in my custody, living in my home. I paid all of his expenses and his medical bills. We took care of all of his clothing, his food, his shelter. And these are all things that I did because I am a grandfather.
Where was she?
She lived in South Carolina at the time. She was unable to care for him. None of that I'm asking for. This is a case of teaching her some responsibility. I don't think that I or my wife should be responsible for taking care of stupid things like going to jail and fines. We did bail her out of jail. We did move her into our home. We bought her clothing. We set her up with a job. I gave her a car. And she never started the job the first day. She went back to South Carolina and back into her old life.
Where was your grandson all this time?
He was in my custody.
Where is
now,
he?
when she went back to South Carolina, she did take him back with her.
How is he doing?
He's doing very well right now.
Good. With his mother?
That's correct.
Good. And what are you doing now?
I'm a telemarketer and I wait tables in evenings.
Who takes care of your son?
The school. I got it arranged where I work on the weekends, waiting tables at night, and he goes to his grandmother's house on his father's side.
Where's his father?
He's in South Carolina as well, but he doesn't help me at all.
Well, what does he do?
He sells cars.
Why doesn't he help you?
I don't know. He's court ordered too, and he switched jobs.
I've got an answer for that, Your Honor. He's useless.
Oh. Good.
Yeah.
He's useless.
Right.
Would it be a fair statement, Mr. Culp, that your daughter seems to be putting things in order at this point?
She is. She is trying. She's maintaining a home. She maintains my grandson. She works 2 jobs.
Great. So why now have you decided to bring this lawsuit?
Because Christy and I have had this conversation over and over again throughout the past year, I have asked her to, if need be, pay $5 a week toward what she owes. You know?
And, Christy, let me hear.
I just don't have the money. I pay all my bills by myself. I do take care of my son. Like I said, I do not get child support, so I just don't have the money.
Well, let me ask you this question. Sounds to me as if your stepfather has been more like a father to you. Fair statement?
Right.
And what it sounds to me is that both your stepfather and your mother are saying they don't really care about money. They would like you to make some sort of a showing of responsibility. So even if you sent them $5 a month, which you can afford, believe me, you blow that on nonsense, right?
Right.
$5 a month, $1 a week, right?
Right.
A couple of cents a day. They would like you to say to them, by that demonstration, I'm acknowledging that I am responsible for these things. My fines, my bail, the things that I did to get myself into trouble. You have a problem with that?
Well, I think, I helped my parents out when he was in time of need. I was 16. I was going to school. I was working in the evenings after school. I would give them my check every week to help pay bills. And I figured I did this for 2 years. When I helped them, I figured that in a time
Were
of
you
need,
also living in the house?
I was.
Were you also
Your
eating?
Honor, we're talking about a 16-year-old child that worked 10 to 12 hours a week in a fast food restaurant and brought me $20 to feed her and her child.
I worked more than that.
Fine. How much money did you give them?
It was almost $200 every week. Because I worked all day on Saturday and Sundays. And then during the week, after school, I would go in at 5 and I wouldn't get out of there until 11 o'clock at night.
And who was taking care of your son?
My parents did help until my dad couldn't do it anymore and my guidance counselor decided to help me.
But they did, for a while.
Right.
Quite a while, Your Honor.
How long is quite a while?
We did this for 2 years.
Now, Miss Deason, what I'm suggesting to you is that you were found guilty and were arrested for the commission of a crime. It may have been your time of need, but when a court says, I want you to pay this fine, they don't mean I want your parents to pay the fine. You're supposed to pay the fine to teach you a lesson. Do you understand? There's a difference. You're supposed to pay the fine so that it hurts you in the pocketbook, not so that it hurts them in the pocketbook, so that it hurts you. That's different from if the family loses a job or something and everybody has to pitch in a little bit more, or if you go have a baby when you're 15 years old so that the household needs more money so that you're helping out a little bit more and they're helping out a little bit more. That's what family does for each other. But when you commit a crime and you're ordered to pay a fine, it's supposed to hurt you. It's supposed to make you think twice about doing it again. Do you understand?
Yes.
So, in that regard, they're right. And I think that they would be happy with $5 a month, just as long as you're saying, I admit that I did something wrong, and I am going to be responsible by paying the fines for the crime that I committed. Fair?
Very fair, Your Honor.
Very good. On those terms, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $987. That's.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Kind versus Cameron. Step forward, please.
19-year-old telemarketer Janae Kine is suing her ex-boyfriend, 24-year-old landscaper Wade Cameron, for crashing her car by pulling the emergency brake while she was driving.
Ms. Kime, according to your complaint, you were driving the defendant's car home from some sort of an event because he was intoxicated and couldn't drive. You got into an accident, you caused a great deal of damage to another car, and you were ordered to pay restitution, and you believe that the defendant should pay that restitution because it was his fault because he pulled the emergency brake.
Correct.
Which caused you to skid out of control and hit the other car.
Mm-hmm.
The defendant says he did in fact pull the emergency brake, but he pulled it because you were driving erratically. That's your defense.
Yes.
How do you know each other?
We're dating.
How old are you?
19.
And you?
24.
What was the date of the accident?
January 3rd, 2002.
Where were you coming from?
We were coming home from a party that night.
Had you gone together?
Yes.
Just the two of you?
No, there was 3 other people with us in the car.
Were the other 3 people in the back of the car intoxicated?
Yes.
But you were not?
I was not.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Janae Kime says ex-boyfriend Wade Cameron caused her car to crash when he abruptly pulled the emergency brake.
Okay. Now, tell me about the accident.
I was driving his car home from the party. Everything was all right. We were like 2 houses down from his house, and then all of a sudden he pulls up the emergency brake, and the car that I'm driving slides into this parked car, and the owners of the car were sitting in the car at that time. And so I pulled the car around the block and parked it at his house, and then we all went down to make sure that everything was okay. And I was in shock when this all happened at the time, you know, because it was such like a dramatic experience that I went through, and it brought back memories of...
Don't give me your memories. I'm not interested in your memories.
Okay.
So you went back to see if everybody was okay.
Right, and Wade had told me at the time that he had insurance on his car, so I figured everything was taken care of. I was in shock, so I left. And
you left before the police arrived?
Right. And I called him the next day, and I asked him what was going on. He gave me the number of the officer in Boulder that was handling the case. So I called her and let her know that I was driving the car, and then a couple days after that I went up there. She wrote me a ticket, and then I went to court after that.
How did you contact the police, sir?
How did I contact the police? They contacted me.
You did? When?
The following day, or that evening.
So what did you tell them that evening?
I told them basically what we were coming back from the party, and they were assuming that I was driving, but I wasn't, and because the person that was driving left the scene of the crime, so they were trying to direct it towards me. But I told them what happened, and that she had taken off, and they wanted a description of her and everything, and then that once that I'd gotten contact with her, to have her contact them.
Let me see the police report. Did you first tell the police that somebody else was driving the car, sir?
They were asking who it was, and I was describing who it was, and I didn't exactly say what she'd look like.
Who's Tamara?
I was a made-up person.
So you lied to the police?
Well, I didn't know her name exactly at the time. Like,
you didn't know whose name?
Well, I was drunk, so I was just mumbling out words.
Hey, don't try to get over on me. I'm smarter than you'll ever be in your whole life. Bird, do you have a piece of paper there?
I do.
Good. I want you to give her a piece of paper and give him a piece of paper, and I want each of them to write down, prior to today, when the last time was that each of these people saw each other, spent any time with each other. Do you understand my question? Prior to today.
Okay.
You need a pen? You need an extra pen? I want them to do it independently.
Thank you.
Look over here, sir. Eyes front. Write down the date.
The exact...
Write down the date that each of you remembers that you spent any time together prior to today's date. I'll take them. Thank you.
His, hers, yours.
Thank you. Okay, very good. Now, what did you have to pay restitution for, by the way?
I had to pay restitution for $6,839 for the whole damage to the car that I hit.
Because he didn't have insurance?
Right, and yet he told me he did.
When did he tell you he did?
He told me he did that night before I was going to drive his car, because I was planning on driving them home anyways. And I was like, you have insurance, right? He's like, yes, I
Oh,
do.
sure, you asked him, do you have insurance? Oh, do I
No,
believe that?
I really did.
Do I believe that?
I really
Sure I do believe that. You said to him, I'll drive your car because you're drunk. By the way, do you have insurance? I want to tell you something. I think that all of you people got together and made up a very good story. That's what I think. It's not going to wash with me. I don't believe he pulled the emergency brake. I believe the car spun out of control. Did you have a driver's license?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Good. After this whole thing happened, did he accept full responsibility?
We had had conversations, you know, about this happening, and he promised that he would pay me $200 a month for all the restitution bills, because I had to pay $200 a month for the next 4 years for this car that he wrecked.
How much longer did you date after this incident?
We didn't date at all after this. The only time that we saw each other was just to converse about this, about the case, and about what
Really, where were you?
It had been maybe at his house a couple times when I'd go up there.
At his house a couple of times?
Yeah, when I would go up there to go try to get the money because I couldn't get a hold of him because he was avoiding my calls.
Okay. And when was the last time you saw him to ask him for money?
Last time that I saw him was a couple months ago. The last time I asked him for money was a couple weeks ago before I or probably about 3 weeks ago before I went and filed a case in Boulder.
And where were you when you asked him for the money?
I was at my house on the phone the last time.
When was the last time you saw him?
The last time that I saw him was...
At his house, at your house?
At his
the
house?
Coffee, something?
No, I just asked him for money. It was probably about 2 months ago.
And when was the last time you say you saw her?
Last time I saw her was when we went to court for that.
Which was when?
When I don't know the exact date of when that court date was, but we had the same court date, so that's the last time I saw her.
Uh-huh. And did you tell the judge in court that you had pulled that this was all your fault?
Basically, just to get it was already.
I'm asking you a question.
Yes.
Did you tell the judge in court that the accident was all your fault? The answer is yes or no.
Yes.
What did the judge say to you?
That was it.
Were you ordered to pay any fine?
No.
Any restitution?
No.
Interesting. Well, one of you say that the last time you saw each other was February 28th. One of you says the last time you saw each other was January 10th. It's interesting, isn't it?
So
Isn't it?
Very interesting.
Case is dismissed.
Case number 118 on the calendar in the matter of Stutz versus Bailey. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats, please.
This case is like a mini-series. Mr. Stutz, you and the defendant lived together for a long time, and there are lots of pieces to your claims, because I have a claim, I have a counterclaim. The main part of the case is about a van that you claim is yours, that after you broke up, you had impounded. So now the van is in impound someplace. Is that right, sir?
Yes, it's in storage.
And you want the defendant to give you the title to the van so you could have your van out of storage. The defendant says it's her van, and she wants the van. Then you claim that she has some jewelry that belongs to you. She says she has one piece of jewelry that belongs to you that she's prepared to give back to you. And what is that, madam?
The ring his father had made for him.
Can I see it, Bert, please?
Sure.
So let's take care of the simple things first. Okay. Is this your father's ring, sir?
I can't see that far.
You can't see that far. I can see up close.
Yes, it looks like it.
Now you have it back.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Easy.
Thank you.
Now let's deal with the other easy part of this case. You were engaged to be married,
That's true.
and you gave her an engagement ring.
Yes.
And how much did you pay for this engagement ring?
Approximately $1,300.
You have the receipt?
No, I don't have the receipts. She has all the receipts to them. We had a joint checking account at the time. My mom left me a bunch of money, and I put it into account because I couldn't have a checking account. And so she paid for it, which was my money that was in the account. She paid for it with check. All the money that was put into the account was what my mother had left me. My mom left me approximately like $48,000, and it was all my money that was in that account. She had nothing.
Yes. I took care of his mother. She was dying of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Yes.
How long did you take care of his mother?
About 6 or 7 months.
Yes, she took care of my mother. My sister made her a deal. Paid her so much money a week, room and board. During the time she was there taking care of my mother, my mom still took care of her family, helped her mother out.
All right.
And
Let me
everything.
just a second. So what you're telling me is she wrote out the check for her own engagement ring.
Yeah, with my money.
Was it his money that paid for the engagement ring?
Yes, he put the money into the checking account,
All right.
and it was
Fine.
$1,000.
So it's his?
It was $1,000.
$1,000. Where's the ring?
It got stolen along with my VCR and some other stuff of mine.
When?
I'm not exactly sure. It was in my girlfriend's car.
Did you file a police report?
No.
Why not?
Because I had to have her. It was in her car.
So what? If the property was stolen out of the car, why didn't you file a police report?
Well, I didn't find out about it until later.
I don't believe you.
Well, it's true.
Oh, I don't believe you. How's that? You don't keep an engagement ring in a car.
No, she had my bags and stuff.
Did she have insurance?
No.
Then if she didn't have insurance, then you file a police report. Then you say to me, here's the police report. I listed it as an item that was stolen, and therefore I have some proof that it was stolen. So right now, sir, you're ahead of the game by $1,000.
Thank you.
On your claim. Now tell me about the van.
Okay, I bought, my mom left me money, and she had 3 wishes for me. Okay, well, I bought this van on approximately October when I got a big check from my mom's inheritance that she left me. And she was supposed to go register the van as me as legal owner and her as registered owner.
Why did she do that?
For insurance purposes.
Why? What's wrong with you?
My record isn't very good that
Why?
way. Because I had a couple tickets at the time.
What else, sir?
And that's it. Just tickets.
So you put the van in her name?
No, it was never finished in her name. What it was, she was supposed to go take it down there, and then when she left, after a big heated argument, she took off, took the van, and just left. The next day I go down to the DMV to find out what's up. They tell me that she's trying to put this in her name. And so I says, wait a minute here, so the DMV puts a stop on it. And as my witness will tell you, he's seen the money exchange at the time.
How much did you pay for the van?
I paid approximately $3,300 for it.
Oh, okay. Now, what's your story about the van?
For one, he wasn't there.
Just tell me what your story is about the van.
Okay, when we were waiting for the house to go through probate, he lost his job. We needed money to pay the rent, and we sold the Volkswagen van so we could pay rent. And he said that he would buy me another van, and he was going to buy a truck. And he said...
All right, so you sold his car in order to pay the rent?
No, he gave it to me, and he kept saying, it's up to you, it's your van. If you want to sell it. I said, well, we need to pay our bills.
All right, let's go. Let's go. So now we went and bought the van. He bought the van with his money, is that right?
Yes.
Is that van titled now? Is there?
No, it's not. It's right through the middle of it all.
It's not complete, but I have the paperwork here.
Good. Can I have it, please?
And then there's some other jewelry that's involved,
all the
too.
paperwork.
That's it. That's it.
And Your Honor?
What?
Can I say something else?
What?
When I went to the DMV to finish the paperwork, and the police came and said that it was on the hot sheet, I said, yes, I reported it stolen because it was stolen from behind my apartment.
How long did you people live together?
Off and on for like 15, 16 years. When my mom died, I tried to make it work, and it just wouldn't work. I was tired of taking care of her and her family. We went through a bundle of money, and like 3 months, we went through a lot of money.
And I don't have any indication that he made a gift of this van to you. He bought it, he paid for it, and shortly after you got it, you took off.
When I left, Your Honor, he said for me to sign off on the RV, and he wouldn't give me any problems about the van.
That's baloney.
Oh, just 1 second, just 1 second. Hold on a second. Oh, here we... Hold on a second.
He was there. He was there.
Hold on a second. You bought an RV?
I bought this RV at the beginning of when my mom gave me a first $10,000 check. I bought an RV to live in because my mom, when she was in our dying bed, said to buy this so you make sure you have something to live in.
Just a second. What year was that?
2000.
And at that point, you'd been together with her 13 or 14
No,
years?
we really weren't together off and on. What happened
What does
was
that
we
mean?
got back together when she was taking care of my mother.
He needed help.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
and she got paid for it. I even
Okay,
took her
just
to
1
Mexico on a
second.
cruise.
So before that, you weren't living together?
No, we only actually lived together after my mom died for, 10 months or something like that. A relationship was just like that.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He almost killed me when his mother was alive, and I told him if he laid a hand on me that I would leave.
I haven't touched you in over 10 years.
Listen to me. I'm not interested. Get over it.
And later today,
Have you ever known her to be psychiatrically hospitalized?
Yes.
How many times was she in a psychiatric hospital?
I really couldn't tell you because I'm so used to being incarcerated. So I couldn't tell you.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Merle Stutt says his former longtime girlfriend, Leylon Bailey, owes for the return of his van and the return of jewelry. Leylon says Merle has her belongings too.
Listen to me. Give him the title to his van.
Your Honor, he was there.
I don't care. He paid for the van. It's his van. He was stupid to say, go put it in your, you put it in your name.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
No, he told
quiet.
me to.
Quiet. We don't have a long-standing living together for 15 or 16 years. You've known each other 15 or 16 years. You actually lived together for 10 months after his mother died.
We lived together before. And he almost killed me when his mother was alive, and I told him if he laid a hand on me that I would leave.
Then why did you
I
go
haven't
back?
touched you in over 10 years.
Then why'd you
Until
go back?
in the RV.
Listen to me. I'm not interested. Get over it. Get over it. You cared for her enough to give her an engagement ring, right?
Yes, at the time,
And he
yes.
bought me the van.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
yes, I'm agreeing with that.
Fine. And you get $1,000 for that because I don't believe her story for a second that it got stolen out of a car with a lot of other stuff. without filing a police report, because somebody has property that's stolen. You call the police and you say, this car was broken into and all my property was stolen. That's what a normal person does. All right. Now, you say that he has some of your personal property. What does he have of your personal property?
My microwave oven that my girlfriend gave to me.
Yeah.
He tried to give me an old broken down one.
Yeah.
And
What else?
my brass
Stop it.
collection, my angel collection.
What else?
And some clothes.
You have her angel collection?
She can have it all.
Sure. I want you to just pay attention to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have her angel collection?
Yes, it's in storage, and I'll give it back to her. So no
Pack
problem
it
at all.
nicely and give it back to her.
Yes.
Do you have a microwave that she had?
No.
Nothing else?
The microwave was given to both of us
Listen
to
to
put
me.
in a motorhome.
Anything else other than her angel collection?
I'll give her everything. I don't want none of her stuff.
What else do you have? I need to itemize it.
My mom gave her a rocking chair, which she can have, and the angel
And my sewing machine.
and the sewing machine. She can have that too.
What
Yeah,
else?
that's
So let's
all I
make it
took.
clear.
Okay.
Listen. The two of you, stop moving around so much. You're making me nervous. Angel collection, sewing machine, and a rocking chair. What else do you have, sir?
That's all. I don't know if the sewing machine and the rocking chair is in the garage, because I went in there and she'd already been in the garage taking stuff out of it.
Do
so
you
we
have
to
the
ask her if she
sewing
took it or
machine?
Yes, I got the sewing machine.
And what about the rocking chair?
I got the rocking chair. but-
Fine. So what we're talking about is an angel collection. 5 days from today, you make sure she gets
Oh, yeah, yeah, I will.
That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
The only reason I left was because he hit me, and I told him if he got physically abusive with me again, oh
never
yeah,
touched
you
you.
never tried to kill me, huh?
I took her to Mexico, spent money on her, bought her clothes.
He almost
Okay.
killed me when his
But, Mom,
mother was alive.
Giving her family money, taking care of everybody. And I just got tired of it.
If they've been physically abusive once, they'll never change.
Yeah, she was being reckless. I don't think I was reckless driving.
We don't talk no more.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Sharon versus Johnston, step forward, please.
18-year-old student Courtney Sharon is suing her former co-worker, 25-year-old animal hospital manager Felicia Johnston, for destroying her homecoming gown.
Miss Sharon, according to your complaint, you loaned the defendant a dress. It was a formal dress that you had worn to your homecoming party or something, some other such thing. And she returned it eventually ruined. You want her to pay $500. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. I returned
And Miss I didn't ask anything yet. And Miss Johnston, is your claim that you believe that she didn't want the dress back when she ultimately said she wanted it back, you put it in a bag, and you gave it back to her?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When did you lend her the dress? Under what circumstances did you lend her the dress, and when did you ask for it back?
I lent her the dress. It was around August of 2001 when she was hired at the clinic, and she was my
What
boss.
clinic?
Talgie Road Veterinary Clinic. It's a member of the Pet's Choice Company. They have
So she
clinics.
was hired at the same place that you were working?
Yes.
How come she asked you for a dress? Tell me
There
when.
was a Pet's Choice event that she needed a formal gown for, and of the people who worked at the clinic, I was most close to her size, I guess.
Where were you when she asked? I mean,
We were at
alone?
work, so...
Were you? I know you have a fixed agenda. Listen to me. Did she come to you individually and ask you for a dress, or did she say to a group of people, anybody have a dress I can borrow?
It was in a group setting, but she asked me specifically.
And you said?
I said, as long as you return it dry cleaned in the condition that I loaned it to you, which didn't seem like it would be that difficult to do, then I don't mind.
Fine.
You know, I really didn't want to, but she's my boss, so.
How many times had you worn it?
I had worn it once for about 3 hours, and it had been dry cleaned afterwards and kept in a cedar closet, wrapped
Is that
up.
the way you gave it to the defendant?
Yes. I have photographs of the dress, you know, what it looked like
Let me
when I
take a
loaned
look
it
at
to
it.
you. And if
When
I
did
can-
when did you first ask for it back?
About 2 weeks after she wore it, and she said that it was at the dry cleaners, which I assumed to be a pretty logical explanation to where the dress was.
Okay,
And
good. And so you asked for it 2 weeks later, and then again?
Again, about a month later, and then about 2 months later, and 3 months later. And in the meantime, she started to sabotage my job, and I quit. And at that point, I really got after her about getting it back, and she kept saying it was at the dry cleaners. She wasn't real
Let me see the
specific.
dress. Bert, could I
If
see
you
the
look
dress,
at the,
please?
the bottom hem, she pulled it down and then tried to hot glue it back together, and
Can I
the
see
lining
it?
is ripped.
Bert, would you hand this back to the plaintiff and ask her to point out on the dress where it's ruined?
Thank you. There's little rips and tears in the fabric, but the thing
No,
that,
I want you to show me exactly where.
Okay.
The big thing that you're talking about is what?
if you look at the bottom hem, it's totally seared off right here, and it's been let go. There's a big rip right there,
and the stem has been let down and then tried to reattach with hot glue.
She's shorter than you are.
I don't know why she would do this.
Listen to me. She put a hem on your dress.
Yes, with hot glue. And also, there's these huge rips in the lining.
Well, she did that because she couldn't shorten the dress without cutting the lining.
Yeah, and
Right?
then there's
Right?
a big old rip
Actually,
right here.
I didn't. I can't hem. I can't sew.
Apparently
I have no
not, because she
creative-
used hot glue
No, no,
to hem.
I have
I'm
no,
not speaking to you.
Yeah.
I have no creative bone in my body. I didn't hem it. I wore. I mean, I wear big heels.
Just a second.
Okay.
Clearly, the dress was, somebody
Right.
attempted to make the dress shorter. Could have been Velcro that somebody tried to iron.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
There was in the lining right there, because when I stepped up on a step, I had on big heels and I did step on the lining and it did tear the lining.
So then you tried
But
to
that
fix
was the only thing that was torn was the lining. And I did try to fix the lining, yes. But since it's mesh, you can't really
Oh, okay.
sew it.
Would you like to see
Yes. Now let me take a look.
And if I can have my mom, she'll testify to the condition it was returned in. The dress,
Well, I
I
see it
wouldn't
now. You
load
didn't have
it
it
out
clean.
the way that it looked.
You didn't have it clean, did you?
No.
Oh.
She didn't either.
Oh, I see what happened. Your heel went through the dress.
Right.
It's happened to me.
If she would
But
have
I was
just
wearing my own
fessed up,
dress.
it would have been
Hell
okay.
being short.
Okay. Here you go. Thank you. Give it back to her. Okay. How did she return it to you?
It was wadded up in a plastic grocery bag, and it wasn't handed to me. It was thrown at me by Sandy.
Okay.
And
Who's
she told
Sandy?
me
This
she didn't
one?
want to hear anything else about the
Yes,
damn
ma'am.
dress.
This is Sandy.
This is
And
Sandy.
it was given to you in a shopping bag, grocery bag.
Right.
Okay, Miss Johnson, I'll hear from you.
Basically, I was invited to a play that we had to do for work. And we were in my office, and we were discussing that I needed a dress. Never asked anybody for a dress. I have one at home that I was talking about. I just needed a shawl. The next day, she came in with a dress that had a shawl, and she said, I have this one. She is known for kissing up and what have you with the doctors that had worked there before I got there. So she brought me in this dress, and I was like, well, you know, I don't feel comfortable borrowing a dress. And she said, well, don't worry about it. I don't wear it anymore. I've only worn it once. So I borrowed it. A week later, I borrowed it. It was at home. A week later, she asked me about it, and I said, yes, I was going to get it dry cleaned for you. There was no agreement beforehand. I said, yes, I was going to get it dry cleaned for you. She said, don't worry about it. I won't ever wear it again anyway.
You ultimately returned the dress to her in a shopping bag.
Yes.
Wrong!
Right. No, you're right. You're exactly right.
That's why I'm here.
Right. But
that's why I'm here. You borrow a dress, you do the responsible thing. If you're the responsible adult,
right,
and she's the young associate,
right,
you do the responsible thing. You borrow a dress, you wear it, you take it to the cleaners, you have it cleaned, and you return it.
Right.
Now, you were probably embarrassed because you would rip the dress, sort of let it slide. That doesn't mean that your dress, Miss Sharon, appreciates in value. It's not an antique. Let me explain something to you. You didn't spend $500 for that dress.
I spent more than that. I have records and everything.
Oh, well, I'd like to see.
Okay,
I'd like to see the bill and the check that you wrote for that dress for $500.
We don't have the bill and the check because you can't return formal gowns, but about a week ago, my grandmother went to the Jessica McClintock store.
Listen to me.
Yes.
I want to see your check or a paid bill for how much you paid for the dress.
Your Honor, Sandy was there. I asked Courtney, I said, okay, it was a misunderstanding. When I asked you or told you about the dress, she said, don't worry about it. I won't ever wear it again. So I didn't. I mean, I honestly didn't. I go to work. I go to school. I have a 3.5-year-old.
I don't care.
Whatever. Yeah. So anyways, so she told me the dress was $150. The dress was $150. Sandy heard it. So I said, okay, well, since it was a misunderstanding, I'll pay you $75. That was before she quit. I went to a meeting 2 days later. I get a call from my receptionist, whoever, saying that Courtney never showed back up for work again, blah, 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 blah. Her mother starts calling saying she's a marketing saleswoman and needs the number to my corporate office. They're writing letters, trying to get my corporation to pay for it. The dress went from $150 to $300 to $500 to $700.
She ruined the dress.
Exactly.
She ruined the dress. She didn't ruin the dress on purpose, by the way, by putting her heel through it.
No, of course
that was, she didn't ruin it on purpose, but if she would have said to you immediately, listen, I ruined the dress, there's no point in having it cleaned because you're not going to be able to wear it because you're taller than I am.
Yes, ma'am.
It's going to be, unless you put beading all around the bottom or something
Yes.
else, which you could do. I mean, if you ever wanted to wear this dress again, you can do it. There is a way of fixing it. But that would
We need to
involve
talk
you.
because I do want to do that.
What?
I would, if I could in any way salvage this gown.
Oh, you can salvage it.
Yes.
Believe me, I've looked at it. Other than the bottom, which you need because you're a little tall. I'm speaking. Don't you understand when I'm speaking? I'm not interested in what you're saying. And neither is he. You can save that dress if that's what you want. And I believe you can save that dress for $250. You can put a nice border on the bottom and have it clean for $25, and then you have a brand new dress that you put back. So I'm giving you a judgment for $250 because I think that the dress is worth at least that in salvage. That's all.
Case number 182.
That is why you got your car back. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Rest of your claim is dismissed. That's all.
Your Honor, this is case number 264 on the calendar in the matter of Murphy versus Hart.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Ms. Murphy, the defendant is your former son-in-law.
Yes, he is.
When did you make the first loan to your son-in-law?
In the early part of 1997. It was a personal loan. It was for $2,700.
For what?
He expressed that he was having some financial difficulties, housing and supporting my grandson. He repaid me $1,000 of that because he got his income tax return.
Okay. What else?
In 1998, my girlfriend went to an auction. Richard needed a sofa. The sofa was $242. I advanced him a personal loan of $300.
For what?
I don't know. He just asked me to lend him the money. We went to Vegas, and I lent him $100.
For what?
To gamble with.
How come you kept lending him this money? He wasn't paying you back regularly, so why would you lend him money to gamble?
Because he looked so dejected when we were in Vegas, so I just felt sorry for him.
Well, you felt sorry for him. Did you give him the $100, or did he say to you, could I please have $100 and I'll pay you back?
I offered to lend. I asked him, did he want a loan? And I said, you would have to pay it back. And he said yes.
No, I don't buy that. I don't buy that. Go ahead. What's
Okay.
next?
Then this time I had put him on a payment plan of $100. He made payments from August to December in $100 increments that came to $500. In April, he came in my house. He gave me $150 and told me that he had other kids and that he had quit his 2 jobs because he was being sued for child support and that he could no longer pay me.
Richard.
Yes, ma'am.
Got a couple of questions to ask you, sir.
Okay.
It appears from your answer that there was a period of time when you had full custody of your son.
Yes, ma'am.
When was that?
From 97 to 99 of September.
1997 to September of 99.
Yes, ma'am. And I can recall the date in January of 97 due to the fact that she called me at work saying that if you feel if I'm a better parent, will come pick my son up. So
the court papers can be subpoenaed that says that Richard has custody of Ryan from Thursday to Sunday and my daughter had him the rest of the time.
Do you have those papers?
According to Marianne, she knows definitely for a fact that I had my son from 97 to 99.
Put your hand down.
I also know that he was
Put your hand down. When I need you, I'll call you.
It's like this. When her daughter found a boyfriend, she wasn't going to be my son's mother anymore. Right. She knows that for a fact.
I think that that's probably true. I think that Miss Murphy knew that there was a period of time when your son really needed you to be either a full-time custodian or there a good deal of the time. Isn't that right, Miss Murphy?
He was a very good father, and I give him, my hat goes off to him.
Right. Now, what I assume happened at some point, you met your new wife. Are you married now?
No, fiance.
You have a girl. You have a fiance.
Yes, ma'am.
With whom you have children.
Yes, I have 2 boys, yes.
With your fiance.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You're not quite ready to make a commitment to get married? Is
Right
that the
now,
idea? Just the children are okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So you have a fiance and you have 2 little children and things get kind of busy. Your son is with his mother more often than he's with you. She's taking you now to court for child support. You haven't paid child support in a while.
I'm not working at all, so therefore certain people have told me that I don't have to pay child support if I don't have it. I'm only collecting disability.
What is the nature of your disability?
Right now,
you can't even say it with a straight face. Try saying it with a straight face how you're disabled. Try telling me how somebody who's how tall? 6 foot tall?
6 foot tall.
Standing in front of me.
Ma'am.
What?
I'm a donor patient for my brother who has a kidney disease, so I have high blood pressure. So right now, I'm basically just relaxing, trying to keep my blood pressure down.
Everybody who has high blood pressure stops working. Half the country would be unemployed.
Well, I can't give a kidney if I have high blood pressure.
How long have you been preparing yourself to be a donor?
I've been preparing myself for the past month and a half.
And how long have you been unemployed?
Since April. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to say after June.
Were you paying any child support before June?
The last time I made child support payment was $300, $360 for whatever reason they needed.
When?
June of 2000.
Somebody's got such high blood pressure shouldn't strain themselves and have all these children.
Oh, it ain't about the children, ma'am. It's about the people around me. If it
Children
wasn't for her
create.
daughter
Listen to me.
and
No,
her,
no, 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 no.
I'll be all
Mr.
right.
Hart, making babies makes your heart go faster, right?
Yeah. It does.
Maybe you should stop straining yourself. Mr. Hart, look, you were making payments to Miss Murphy over a long period of time.
I was helping her out due to the fact she helped me out.
Just a second. Sir. You were making payments to her in the amount of $100 a month.
No.
You're in between a rock and a hard place, sir. If you say you weren't making payments to her, you're not going to get credit for any of those payments.
Well, I would say it wasn't a month. I was giving her whatever I had due to the fact she helped me out when I had my son.
I mean, she's lying about that?
Oh, it's a lot of things she was lying about.
Yes, I'll hear you.
I have no reason to stand up here and lie. I have a detailed journal of everything, all the accounting on this.
Let me see. Let me take
the
a look
tape,
at it. Just a second.
I extracted this information from the tape. But more importantly, my daughter owes me money, and I have the same tape on her.
Your Honor, she failed to realize until with the $2,700 she gave me for the circumstances why the $2,700 was given.
Tell me about it.
I didn't ask for the $2,700. I picked my son up from school one day, and he had a lot of bruises on his buttocks and his legs. And I didn't know what to do. So therefore, I took him over to Miss Murphy, and she told me, well, this is what you need to do.
Would you please just explain to me what the $2,700
It was for the attorney fees.
Is that correct?
No, that is not correct. He has conjured up lies and had other people call my daughter's house, leaving threatening messages, and have alluded to me giving him money. When I lent him the money, I had no idea what it was for. I didn't ask. My concern is that you pay it back to me.
Your Honor, why was the attorney fees $2,700? Why did she exactly give me $2,700?
Let me see the bill for $2,700 from the attorney.
I don't have everything, but this is...
I just told you, I don't
Here
need
you go, right
everything.
here.
The base,
The
most
of the
of this money that she claims that you owe is, according to you, the attorney's fees.
Yes, ma'am.
This says balance as of 10/13, $1,034.
Let me find this other letter, ma'am, so I can show you that they gave me actually back, after the case was over, they gave me $700 back, but I don't have that form with me at this time.
I want to see where the original bill was for $2,700, the retainer.
No, they asked for a retaining fee of $2,700.
Show me.
Okay, ma'am, okay, relax. I don't have that at this time, Your Honor. I had a letter showing that this is what they gave me back. Oh, here it is. I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry.
At the time that this happened back in 1997, you saw bruises on the child's body. I
Yes, ma'am.
assume that you were infuriated. Is that right?
I made a police report. A DCFS came out of the house, did an investigation on me. They also did investigation on the school.
Just answer my question.
Yes, ma'am.
You needed money for an attorney. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you didn't have the money right then and there to
I
give
didn't
to
have
the
all
lawyer.
of it. No, ma'am.
Good. And there is nothing that you can show me where you paid this lawyer a retainer of $2,700.
Not at this time. You can see
Right,
that
because
list
all
right
this
there.
other stuff he gave me says nothing about $2,700.
Well, if I had it, I would sure give it to you.
Because what it shows is that there are different amounts that you paid off different amounts at different times, not $2,700 at one fell swoop.
Well, actually, it should, I wish I had.
Actually.
I don't have that. No.
Of course you don't have it because, sir, let me explain something
Because I
to
wasn't
you.
prepared to bring that information in court, sir. But
Well,
if we,
Mr. Hart, I don't know why you weren't prepared to do that, sir, because that is your answer, that you used this $2,700 for an attorney. So it would seem to me, with all the other paperwork that you brought, you would have brought that one document showing you took the $2,700 from the plaintiff and you paid the attorney with it. That's the one document that I would have.
Yeah, that's one document I wish I had.
Oh, well, that's too bad. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,538. And let me tell you what I'm taking off.
Okay.
Taking off the $100 you were foolish enough to give him to gamble.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
You may step out.
Stabbed me in the back like she stabbed her daughter in the
And
back.
it wasn't even about the money, that he didn't owe her any money. It was about me having harassment suit from her daughter and her so that he would not be able to see his son.
Justice prevailed. It just isn't paid a lot.
And now,
He, the phony, would not blame another hairdresser for what he did.
and now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Ackerman versus Pierce, step forward, please.
44-year-old accounts receivable clerk Ruth Ackerman and her daughter, 18-year-old Crystal, are suing Crystal's half-sister, 24-year-old office manager Melissa Peart, and her husband, Tyson Peart. Crystal says Melissa won't return her furniture.
What's your first name?
Crystal?
Crystal, this is your sister.
Yes.
You're the mother.
Yes.
You're the husband.
Yes.
Hers. According to your complaint, there came a time that for some reason you moved into your sister's home with her husband. Had she been living with you before?
My daughter?
Yes. How old were you?
I was 17 at the time. Oh, sorry, 18 in November. I just turned 18.
Why did you go and live with your sister?
I was living at a drug home at the time with my friends, and she suggested that would be the best place for me to
We're
be.
in a drug home.
Friends using drugs.
How long had you been living there?
For about a month and a half.
Where did you live before that?
With my mother.
Why
and
did you
father.
move out of your mother's home?
Because I was a rebellious teen.
So your sister did a nice thing. She said, come and live with me.
Yes.
You lived there from November of 2000 until when?
To February.
And then she told you to leave.
Yes.
Why?
Well, we weren't getting along the end of the last month in February and January. Weren't getting along. She did kick me out about 5 different times.
Were you breaking the rules?
Yes.
This lawsuit says that when you left 2 things there. One was a chest and your bed.
Correct.
And you want those things back or their value. Your sister says she held on to them for about 6 months and then got rid of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where did you go after you left your sister's house?
I moved in with a friend into an apartment.
Why didn't you take your chest and your bed?
We couldn't fit it in.
Did you tell your sister that?
Yes.
What did she say?
She didn't say anything. She
Did
was
she
very
let-
silent towards me.
You were angry with her?
I was, Your Honor. I gave her 7 days to move her stuff out.
And this chest and bed, were they in a room that you needed?
Yes, they were.
She doesn't have to keep your stuff forever.
A couple times I was trying to make arrangements with my friends to get a truck to go in there and get my stuff out. Unfortunately, I have no truck. I have a little car, can't fit a bed and cedar chest on top of it.
When did you sell it?
June.
Who did you sell it to?
I sold it to a coworker of my husband's and to a friend.
Okay, how much did you get for it?
Total together, I got 110.
Now, your daughter moved out in February.
Mm-hmm.
Did you call your other daughter in February or March and say, I'm going to come and pick up this bed?
No, we didn't.
Why not?
We actually did tell Crystal that she could store the stuff at our house. We kept telling her to go get the stuff.
And she didn't?
And she did not go get the stuff.
When you moved in with your sister, you lived there for November, December, January, 3 months. Did she support you?
Yes.
You weren't working?
No, I was looking for a job. I had a job when I was living there, and I did lose the job.
So your sister took care of you?
Yes.
So why would you want to sue her?
I just want my stuff back.
She doesn't have it.
Well, I want what she sold. That's my bed, my cedar chest. My cedar chest means a lot. I got it for my 16th birthday from my parents. I mean,
Well, she sold both things.
it's
So-
valuable stuff to me.
She doesn't have them. She kept them in her house for months. You couldn't get a truck. Your mother wasn't talking to her directly. She was talking to you. She could have stored the stuff but never made arrangements. And I assume that you and your other daughter are not getting along for some reason. Is that right?
In the last couple of months, yes. But
that's
prior to her moving out and that, no. We were fine.
Your Honor.
Yes.
And the reason why this pretty much whole thing started, because I found my biological father, and when my grandfather passed away in May, he was asked to be a pallbearer, not my stepdad. So now the family's mad at me because I found my real dad, and they're just vindictive towards me right now.
She found her father 5 years ago. And I knew that 5 years ago, and I accepted that as long as she kept it to herself. Her father signed legal rights for adoption. He wanted nothing to do with her. And within my books of my feelings, he had no rights to her at all. I did tell her, that's fine, but you keep it to your side, your family, that's fine that you've seen your father. I did not need it in my life. I didn't have to have it in my life. My father that passed on was my father. She was only a granddaughter. A funeral is for the people who are alive, not dead. And my father wanted a quiet family funeral, and he was not my family. He might have been my daughter's, but he was not my family. So due to that, yeah, we got a lot of hurt out of it.
It's time for it to be over.
It is. And because of all this, Crystal decided to go get her stuff. I kept telling her to get it. Crystal was sick the day she made arrangements to go get the bed. I went with my daughter, Tracy, to go get it, and she was not home that day. So within 2 days, she had sold the bed, apparently.
But meanwhile, she took care of your daughter. And if the bad feeling that exists now between you and your daughter has to do with her finding a biological parent and involving him in your father's funeral, which is, I assume, what you are hurt about, you have to understand something. When you make choices, you made a choice, you had a child, and so did her biological father at that time, and I assume you were both much younger, but children have a natural curiosity. Children very often have a need to know their biological parents. Even if her adoptive father was wonderful to her, there is sometimes that need. And maybe it was wrong for her to involve her biological father in your father's funeral. I don't disagree with that. But it's over. It doesn't mar something forever. It doesn't mar that.
Your Honor, it wasn't me involving him into the funeral. It was actually my grandfather's wishes. They were very best friends in the past, and within the last 5 years, he begged me to bring him around because my grandpa was on his deathbed. And I brought him around only under my grandpa and grandma's wishes, and it was my grandfather's wishes to have him there. It wasn't me. I had no idea.
Did you tell that to your mother?
I surely did.
I don't
Certainly
believe it. I'm next to my dad on his deathbed. I was about the last one to see him before he went into his coma.
Well, what about your mother? Did your mother tell you that that's what he wanted?
My mother didn't tell me until the day we was at the funeral home making the arrangements of who the pallbearers were. That's
but
when
did
she
your
told
mother
me.
tell you that that was your father's request?
She said, I don't believe her.
Then you don't believe your mother and you don't believe your daughter?
No.
Then you have a problem.
No, because in Christmas time...
No, then you have a problem.
My father said what Melissa was doing was wrong. So why would he found something different?
Maybe it's because that's what he thought you wanted to hear. Why would your mother, who I assume lived with your father for how many years?
30 years.
30 years. Why would your mother do something that she knew was exactly the opposite of what your father would want done at his funeral? In any event, she doesn't have the bed and chest anymore. She sold them. Did you tell your mother you sold them for $120?
I miscalculated. I apologize.
We have the bills of sale.
I have the
Can I
bill of
see them,
sale.
please?
I actually
And the
sold.
rental agreement that Crystal signed.
I have the bill of sale on both of them, and I actually sold them on the 11th of May and the 1st of June. I arranged for pickup on the 4th of June. After I gave Crystal, I talked to her, wanted to give her one last chance to make arrangements to come get it, but she didn't.
You have any problem giving your sister the $110 you got for her things?
I do.
Chris, Missy didn't sell the bed
I want to
for-
explain something to you. This is a non-case. $110 is what you sold the stuff for. You're suing for $600, which is ridiculous. It costs more than $600 to feed you, take care of you, provide you with a home for 3 months, which your sister did, so I have no idea what you're doing here. However, I don't think it's fair that you keep the money for her things, so I'm going to give her the $110. That's it. Do you understand? Instead of saying thank you, you sue her. Ridiculous. Goodbye.
33-year-old sheriff's deputy Edwin Brock is suing 55-year-old entrepreneur Donald Courtney for filing a false complaint after a traffic stop.
Order. All rise. Now, this is case number 154 on the calendar in the matter of Brock versus Courtney. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Mr. Brock, you are a peace officer. Is that correct?
That's correct, Judge.
Your complaint is that you made a traffic stop of the defendant for speeding, and that subsequent to giving him a ticket, he filed a complaint against you, which was patently false, with Internal Affairs causing an investigation. And while you were cleared of all charges, that report will remain on your file permanently, and you want him to pay you damages.
That's correct.
That's what the case is about. So I have a couple of questions, then I'm going to go to Mr. Courtney. How long have you been a peace officer?
I've been a peace officer, Your Honor, for approximately 9 years.
And what is your assignment, sir?
I'm assigned to the traffic division as a motor officer and an accident investigator.
When did this incident happen?
The incident occurred on September 2nd of 2000,
What time of day?
approximately 8:30 in the morning.
And what was the reason that you stopped the defendant's car?
On that date and time, Your Honor, I was in uniform working speed enforcement in my jurisdiction when my attention was drawn to a vehicle traveling at a high rate of speed on a street named El Camino Real. My visual estimation of the vehicle's speed was approximately 50 miles an hour, which is about 15 miles an hour over what's posted for that roadway. And that roadway in itself has numerous driveways and businesses in this particular area, which restricts a sight distance for vehicles traveling.
Whatever. So you thought he was going about 15 miles over the posted speed limit.
That's correct.
You pulled him over.
Yes.
When you pulled him over, you identified yourself as a peace officer?
Yes, I did, and I was in uniform.
Mr. Courtney, I'm going to come to you next, and I want you to tell me your version of what happened after you were pulled over.
The officer came up to my window, and I inquired of him as to why
Just
I
tell me
was
what
being
you
stopped.
said. I inquired of him. Tell me what you said to him. He came up to your window. Did he say anything to you, or did you say something first?
He asked me for my identification.
Did he say, can I have your identification
Yes.
or your driver's license and registration?
Exactly. Yes, he
No.
did.
Which one?
He asked me for my driver's license and for registration.
Did you give it to him?
I looked for it, and then I suddenly remembered that all of my identification, along with my passport, was in my briefcase, which was sitting at home in another vehicle with my driver waiting to take me to LAX. I was on my way to Europe.
And you told him you didn't have
Yes, I did.
driver's license nor the registration for the car.
Yes.
What did he say to you then?
He asked me for my particulars, my age, my date of birth, my address, my height, my weight, color of my eyes, and I gave him that information.
Okay. Go ahead.
And he then returned to his motorcycle, which was probably 5 to 10 yards, parked behind my car, and he was there for quite some time.
And then?
Then he returned to the car, and he presented me with a ticket to sign.
Mm-hmm.
And I signed it.
And then?
And then he tore the ticket off, and he left.
So that all sounds very nice. And then what did you do?
Well, there was a lot that transpired in between
Well,
because
I'm
of his
asking
actions.
you. I mean, we're not going to play I've got a secret in 20 questions, Mr. Courtney. So far, you told me what happens when you make a routine traffic stop, license, registration you don't have, checks your ID, gives you a ticket, and you both go
Well,
on
the
your way. That
gentleman,
sounds
the
all very
gentleman
nice.
here, while he's composed today, was quite.
No, just tell me what happened,
He was
Mr.
agitated.
Courtney.
He was very agitated.
Tell me, sir. He comes and he asks for your license and registration. You don't have it. I want you to tell me point by point, which I thought you did, what it was that caused you to file a complaint against him.
When he approached me, Your Honor, he appeared agitated.
How did he appear agitated?
When someone looks at a person and they're not composed, possibly he had a bad start to his day, I don't know, and he did.
So he appeared agitated.
Yes, he did.
Okay. Go ahead.
Then, when I told him that I didn't have my identification with me, he just didn't seem to believe me, and he became more agitated.
No, don't tell me agitated. What did he say to you, sir?
He told me he was going to take me to magistrate's court.
Okay, go ahead.
And that was after I had informed him that I was on my way to LAX to fly to Europe, so I assumed he was going to take me to magistrate's court. I was going to miss my flight.
So what did you say to him?
I just basically cooperated with him and gave him the
tell me what
information
you
that he
said.
wanted to. I don't recall exactly what I said to him at that moment, but what I did do is I got on the phone and I dialed 911 right away.
Why?
Because of how he was conducting himself.
So far, I haven't heard anything, sir.
Well,
untoward.
I'm about to share it with you. He was,
Well, please,
he
share
was
it.
very animated.
How animated?
He was animated to the point whereby he was in my face, in my car.
How was he in your car?
His face was literally 12 to 18 inches from my face, and I'm sitting in the driver's seat, rather than having a good 3-foot distance where people can just communicate with one another. He was in the car, so to speak. He was in my face. He was not happy. He was in a bad mood. He was agitated.
Your Honor, this man is perjuring himself.
Just a second. Now, after he left, according to you, there were no words that he said to you. It was his affect. Is that right?
No, he had threatened to take me to magistrate's court, and
That
I
is
couldn't
his right.
understand why.
That is his right to take you to magistrate's court, sir. So that's not a threat. There were no words that he said to you that were threatening. It was his affect.
And his hand on his gun, Your Honor.
Yes.
This was just a simple traffic stop
Well,
on a
it's
Saturday
simple-
morning.
It's a simple traffic stop, Mr. Courtney, except that the person who he stopped had no identification, had no license, had no registration. So what initially is a traffic stop becomes something else when there is no identification. I'm going to repeat myself. Other than the fact that you say his affect appeared to be agitated. He did not threaten you in any way. He didn't curse at you in any way. Is that right?
Oh, that's not correct, Your Honor.
Well, what did he say to you, sir? That's what I'm trying to get to,
The
Mr.
intonation in his voice, he was very abusive in how he addressed me.
Tell me, sir, what he said.
I don't recall the exact words, Your Honor, but just the manner in which he conducted himself.
May I
He didn't
s-
comport himself properly.
All right. May I see the report that was filed, please?
This is a letter that he wrote to my department
I'd like
for
to see
Internal
that.
Affairs. That's the letter right there.
Your Honor, may I make a point, please?
Some of the points he made in the letter using the words.
Go ahead. Shh. Just a minute. Go ahead.
This incident occurred September 2nd. The Criminal Investigation Department conducted its investigation, wrote a letter back saying that they weren't going to pursue anything against the gentleman. Therefore, I assumed it was fait accompli, everything was over. I talked with my lawyer here in Beverly Hills. He said, pack it in, forget it. So I shredded everything.
Well, I have it here.
No, I appreciate that, but I wanted to peruse it prior to coming on the show.
Okay. Well, in the letter, Mr. Courtney, that you've written to the police department, you have accused the plaintiff of not only menacing affect, but of cursing at you on at least 3 occasions, something that one would necessarily remember if you remember his affect. I'm going to make a mark.
Your Honor, while you were
Just a
looking at
second. Just a second, sir. Would you show this to the defendant, please?
Thank you.
Read the portions that I've checked.
I apologize. I don't have my glasses with me.
It's a strong
Are
enough
we in
for
the same
anybody.
age? We're in the same age range?
I'm younger than you are.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Sheriff's Deputy Edwin Brock claims Donald Courtney filed a false complaint after a traffic stop. Donald claims Deputy Brock was verbally abusive.
Can you read with my glasses?
Yes, I can. Perfectly.
Now, I'll take them back. And the paper.
Thank you.
Without going into graphic detail, well, I best go into graphic detail because we have a record here. When I was signing the ticket in shrieking tones, according to you, he said, sign the ticket or you're going to court now. That I would remember. Then, you say, he said to you with his finger, you and your limousine. And then you say he said to you when you said, please just give me the ticket. And at this point he erupted and said, I've had enough from you. Those are things that I would remember if I were telling a story, Mr. Courtney. Mr. Brock, according to your complaint, sir, you made this stop. And the time you made the stop, you took out a recording device. Is that right?
Essentially, Your Honor, yes.
Not essentially. That's what you said here. You said, I got off my bike and turned on my tape recorder.
Yes. It's a device that I wear on my belt. It's not something that I have to remove from a stored place.
I understand that.
Okay.
And you take that off because it's protocol to turn on the tape recorder so that you can memorialize the stop. Is that right?
That's correct.
Where is it?
I have a copy of the tape right here.
I'd like to hear it.
Okay.
Bird.
It's difficult to hear, Your Honor, because of the background noise of traffic, but you absolutely will not hear foul language from either party on that tape.
What stopping me for? Speed limit. What's the speed limit? 35 where? Unspeeded Boulevard to Garden View. Are you serious? I'm very serious. Jesus Christ, I lived here for years. I never knew. I thought it was 50. Are you serious? From where? Where is it 35? From where to where?
Encinitas Boulevard to Garden View Road.
Okay, which is Garden View?
Just past.
Are you serious?
Well, that street's been there for 35 years.
No, I know, but I thought it was 50 the whole way down. Wow. I'll be damned.
Well, let me start with your registration and insurance. How about that?
I can't believe it. I'm flying to Zurich right now. I'm trying to get to the airport.
How do you go to the airport without identification?
Because I'm going home. The limo's picking me up.
There you go. Take your vehicle insurance with you?
Nope.
Right. That's the only one you have?
No, I have one.
Okay. Bring the insurance report with you. You're not admitting guilty to the charge for being cited here for the speed violation. You have to transport the charge if you're not admitting
Yes, okay, your court date starts November 13th, 8 o'clock. Okay? You said I'm not admitting guilt. Well, your constitutional right does. Even if you agree to... What are you charging me for? Speed violation, or proof of insurance in the vehicle. Well, what is the speed violation? What do you mean, what is it? Well, what was I doing? Well, you're over speeding. 48 miles an hour in the first time. I mean, really, you really have nothing better to do than stop me 50 miles an hour over the speed limit in this town? I mean, come on. Let me ask you a question. Yes. Should I start writing tickets? Well, let me say something to you. No, don't say anything else. Why not? I can say whatever I'd like. You sure can. Yeah. Why you sign a ticket, though? You're going to sign a ticket and not delay me any longer. The ticket asked you nicely, and I did ask you nicely. Don't be silly. No, there's no more we have to do. I'm standing out here. I don't care who you are. Well, I did the last time. Let me tell you what happened the last time. I don't care what happened to the last officer. I'm hanging out here with these cars going 45 miles an hour. Now, I want you to sign the ticket so I can terminate. You want to terminate the contract by signing the ticket here. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. You're arguing? I'm trying to talk to you now. I don't want to do it anymore. You know why? It's going downhill. You're getting the ticket. For what? You're getting the ticket whether you like it or not. I don't mind. Okay, I would like you to sign so I can go. I'm going to sign it. Relax. You can voice your opinion in court. If you sign the ticket and you can relax on your trip to Switzerland or wherever else. Hey, I'll take it. You want to go sign in front of the magistrate, you can sign it. If not, you sign it right there. They can be taped later on. Right here on the side of the road is not the place to have debate. The cars going behind me at 40 and 50 miles an hour. I'll tell you, this is not the end of it. Respect, you know what? Not the end of it. You won't be the first one. Oh, no, you don't know what happened last time I took an officer's report. Here's your copy. Hang on, don't go. I need your thumbprint here since you don't have any driver's license. Would you put your right thumb on the pad right here, please, and just lightly touch the box? That's it. Good day. I got a problem. Drive safely.
You're way out of line, Mr. Courtney. Way out of line. Didn't you know he had a tape recorder going?
Yes, I did.
Well, if you knew he had a tape recorder going, sir, and I've just listened to the entire conversation that the two of you had, there is nothing that he did to you that was untoward that day.
Respectfully, you weren't there.
I don't care whether I was there or not. I heard you.
I was there. I saw his facial remarks, his hand on the gun, and furthermore, I have a witness here with me today who will testify that he physically assaulted her in a court hallway 3 months later.
Do you want to know something? I am not interested in your witness because that case, if it's a case at all, has absolutely nothing to do with this.
Yes, it does.
Because
we appeared in court on that
wrote this letter in which you allege, in this letter, which went to Internal Affairs, that he on no less than 3 occasions cursed you. He did not. That was clearly a lie. Now, maybe its intention was to get somebody's attention, but it was a lie because I've just listened to this entire conversation.
Your Honor, the validity of the authenticity of that tape has not been proven.
To my satisfaction, Mr.
Not
Courtney.
to mine and not in a court of law.
Sir, you've subjected yourself to this jurisdiction. This isn't the first case that I've heard, Mr. Courtney. And this isn't the first tape that I've listened to.
Your Honor,
and
I
I'm
asked
telling
for
you
that information. It was not provided.
And I'm telling you that the only one who was giving a hard time that day was you. As a matter of fact, there is some indication on this tape that you threatened him. You said to him something about the last cop who gave me a ticket. And he replied very quietly, I don't care about the last cop that gave you the ticket. Please just sign this ticket. And he didn't threaten to take you to magistrate's court, sir. He only said to you, you can either sign the ticket here, sir, or you can sign it in magistrate's court. Why don't you please sign it here? Then you can be on your way.
But I did sign it.
Mr. Courtney, you were vindictive. The complaint that you made against him was totally without merit, based upon that tape, which is what cleared him. Very smart of the police department to have you carry around these tapes, guys. I want to tell you something. It should have been done a long time ago. Now, I don't believe that Mr. Courtney knew that you had that tape, because if he did, I doubt very much whether he would have consented to appear here today. He did. You're suing him for $5,000. I take judicial notice of the fact that a complaint to Internal Affairs remains on your record, even if there is a finding at the end of an inquiry that there was no basis for the complaint. It does remain on your record. I am granting you your complaint in the amount of $5,000. This case is over.
Yeah, this is case number 227 on the calendar in the matter of Blackman versus Miller Vaughn. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Who is Mr. Miller?
I am.
Would you sit down, Mr. Vaughn, please? And is this your wife?
Yes, ma'am.
Why don't you have a seat?
Thank you.
Mr. Blackman, this is an interesting case. I don't think I've ever tried one like this before. You knew the defendant.
I met him first time at our wedding, actually. He was a friend of a guest.
And according to your complaint, there came a time when you and the defendant arranged to have a young woman from the Philippines, who was, I believe, a cousin of your wife's,
Distant cousin, yes.
come to New York for the purposes of marrying him.
Yes, ma'am.
She came to the United States.
Yes, ma'am.
He didn't marry her.
No, ma'am, he did not.
And you want him to pay for all of the expenses that you incurred, which you say that he had agreed to pay. In addition, at some point, a check was given to you for $1,500, and then payment was stopped on that check, but that check was written by Mr. Vaughn at the defendant's request. So that's why he is a co-defendant. But he's really a nominal co-defendant. Okay, so when was your wedding, and when did you meet the defendant?
In February of '99, the defendant was at our wedding. A few days later, he came to a Valentine's dance party, and that's where I spoke to him about our site, FilipinoGirlsTours.com. I said,
No. Speak slowly, because we're missing. You had a website?
Yes, ma'am, a small business. I met my wife through Pen Pal Club, and when she came over, she goes, I have many friends that would like to come too, so we put up a free Pen Pal site where people could get free addresses and phone numbers, stuff like that, and correspond. I don't know if he first saw that site, or I really don't know, but he came to our wedding, and then at the party he was there. And I said, well, you know, we do have a cousin of hers that's real cute on our site. Would you like to meet her? And he says, well, I'd be interested. So I gave him the contact information, the address, the phone number. She did not have email at the time. And from there, it progressed. They got to know each other well.
They got to know each other via mail?
Mail and phone, yes.
And
many phone calls. Okay. And he went over there on his own.
He went to the Philippines?
Yes.
And visited, that is correct. When did you go to the Philippines, sir?
It was April or May. I don't remember exactly what the date was.
Of 1999?
Yes.
Okay. And you went and you met this young lady? Go ahead.
Yes, when he returned, he relayed to me how happy he was, how he would treat her so nicely, that he really loved her, and he was very frustrated that they were never left alone this whole time. And in the Philippines, most girls are very chaperoned. This particular woman had never dated really in her life. Very, very sheltered. And I helped him with his paperwork to bring her over, because we had just started our site, and I wanted to get more experience in the fiancé visa part and what have you, so I did all of his paperwork for him.
What's a fiancé visa?
In order to bring a girlfriend, fiancé, to the United States from another country, you must file paperwork with our government saying that you met her, prove that you met her, and that it's a legitimate relationship, and you want to marry her. And you bring her over, you do all this paperwork.
Do you have a copy of that application?
I do not have a copy of his, per se.
I need a copy of his.
I do not. I have the form, but I have all the financial responsibility forms that he signed.
Can I see that, please?
Yes, ma'am. Saying that he would be responsible for her as long as she was here. Okay. I've highlighted the...
Okay, and you signed this financial affidavit, sir, on the 31st of August, 1999. Is that right?
I'd have to see it.
Sure.
Yes.
Good. So you signed the financial affidavit in August of 1999, agreeing to be financially responsible for this young lady when she came to this country.
Right. It said that I would be responsible so that she wouldn't be a burden upon our state.
That's correct, but that's only one of the affidavits that you signed. That's why I read the second one very carefully, which is, the first one says that you agree that she will never become a public charge while she's here. But the second affidavit that you signed, sir, says that a plaintiff may seek specific performance of my support obligation, and you acknowledge that any federal, state, local, or private agency that pays any means-tested public benefit or benefit on behalf of the sponsored immigrants has standing to sue you to meet my financial obligations. Okay, I got it. Now, when did the young lady come here?
She arrived on Friday, the 28th or 29th of January, I believe. The wife and I actually picked her up at the airport because the defendant said he could not get off work to pick her up. So we drove to Atlanta from Asheville, a considerable distance, picked her up, brought her that evening, left him at his apartment, where I even helped him move to. That night, they were alone. It was Super Bowl weekend. That Sunday, they came over. The girl was very, very upset with herself, what have you. Mr. Miller had talked her into giving up something very precious to her, which was her virginity, which is something these girls really hold proper to them, because he had spent so much money to bring her here and so much effort. She figured, well, he's going to marry me, it's okay. The way things worked out, she found out she did not know we had loaned him the money to bring her here, because that wasn't...
Now tell me about that loan.
Mr. Miller was in the process of moving, and I had gotten to know him a little bit, doing his paperwork for him and what have you, and he seemed to be a very nice fellow. So I helped him move, brought his washing machines over to my house to store, because he didn't have a place to put them, things like that. After he moved, we picked up the girl, brought her to his house and what have you.
Tell me about the money.
Oh, the money. During this move, he's saying he had put deposits down for this, for the phone, for the apartment and everything, and he was very low on money. And I figured the girl's a cousin of my wife, so I said, would you like to have a loan to bring her here? I could loan you the money for the plane ticket as long as it did not take too long to pay me back. And he said, oh, I could pay you back in 90 days, no problem. I just started a new job.
How much was the ticket?
The ticket itself was, I don't know, he sent the money to her. I gave him $675 cash.
Is that correct? That he gave you $675 in cash?
No.
He never gave you any money?
No.
He's lying, Your Honor.
Okay, so that's in dispute. $675 in cash you gave him.
Yes, ma'am. And I even asked my wife if I could take it out of our savings account. She's a joint member of that account, and she said yes, because it was for her cousin. That'd be fine.
Okay. Go ahead.
I had loaned him the money. I picked him up the day before she was to arrive. He called me and said, I can't get off work. Could you please pick her up? I said, sure, I'd be glad to. We went down, picked her up, brought her to the apartment. That weekend followed.
Okay, then you told me about the problem.
Right.
When she came to your house. All right.
Right.
Did he ever tell you that this wasn't going to work out?
The first indication I had of any problem was that Thursday, he did not show up one night. He kept on showing up later each night, coming home. And Wednesday night, he didn't show up at all. Thursday morning, the girl called me. I picked her up, brought her home. That Thursday evening, he called me. He didn't have keys to get into the apartment. He said, oh, I had to spend all night in the hospital with my son last night. And he gave me this story. His son was real sick, and he stayed there. And so I met him at the apartment and told him how badly she was hurt. And he says, well, I love her. This is not going to happen. Let me get cleaned up, I'll come over. That was the last I saw him in person until our criminal court trial came up. He called me the next day and said...
What criminal court trial?
For the $1,500 check.
Oh, okay.
That was dismissed due to, it was a post-dated check.
Okay.
North Carolina laws.
When for the first time, I asked you, did he tell you that this was not going to work out?
He called me on the phone that week, I believe it was that Thursday evening, and said, I'm not going to marry her. And I said, well, why? And he says, well, that's personal, I'm not going to tell you. I've got to go out of town this following weekend. When I get back, I'll get with you. And he never did call back. Mr. Vaughn called me and said that he had a check that he had written to cover her expenses for her plane ticket, my loan, a small amount of living expenses until she went home. And I was to pick the check up at the apartment. Well, we didn't have a key. We couldn't get in.
Well, you must have said something to him about money. You owe me some money. You owe me the money that I gave you, $675,
actually,
and the return and the return flight as well.
Right. It was actually him that volunteered the money at first to pay for her plane ticket home, because he knows this is a responsibility that he signed, that he is responsible for this woman, and if they do not get married after 90 days, he has to return her. It's an agreement he's made with the U.S. government.
Okay.
So he was aware of his obligation.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Carl and Lori Jen Blackman say former friend Chris Miller borrowed money to fly in his girlfriend from the Philippines. Chris says there was no agreement to pay the money back.
When did she go back to the Philippines?
It wasn't until September.
Why not?
Because, well, she was so ashamed of herself, and in the Philippines, and I do have evidence from doctors that treat women in the Philippines.
I'm not interested in that because it's really not germane. She's not here. She was, for emotional reasons, she didn't go back.
Right, and plus the check bounced. We could not get it to cover. 5 times I took it, it would not Each time I took it to the bank itself, they said, I'm sorry, there's not enough funds, and then I ran it through my bank to have it stamped.
But that was $1,500, and that would have covered her return flight to the Philippines
And my loan of...
and your loan to him.
Yes, ma'am, and a small amount of living expenses for a week or two.
So the whole thing was $1,500. So how did $1,500 become $5,000 that you're suing him for?
Well, we never could cash the check. It was never any good. So she stayed with us. She was real ashamed and didn't want to return home, and she did not have the money to return home because the check was canceled. And I had told Mr. Vaughn about a week after the check, when I first tried to cash it, I said, well, why isn't there any money there? And he said, well, my wife wrote a check. It'll be good in a couple of days. And I said, well, yeah, I think Cheryl may be staying a while anyways because she's very afraid about going home.
Okay, I got it. So the rest of this money, $3,500, is for her living expenses.
Basically, and attorney's fees, and we had to buy her clothes. She had no clothing other than summer clothing, and this was middle of winter, so we had to buy her clothing.
Well, she should have gone home immediately.
With what money?
With the money that you would have lent her and then sued them for the $1,500 and it would have been over with.
I don't have thousands of dollars in the bank.
This isn't fair. We're not talking thousands. We're talking about a return airplane ticket.
But it was Mr. Miller's responsibility to return her.
How much was the return air ticket?
When I returned her, it was $640, and it was during the low time of year. In January, it's a high travel time. It could be as much as $1,000 or more.
All right, Mr. Miller, let's hear it.
Well, went over there, met her, did all the paperwork and everything to bring her over here.
Paperwork.
Then in December, when I talked to her, I told her, I said, you know, I don't think it's going to work.
You mean December before she got here?
Right.
Why did you tell her that in December?
Well, I had met my wife. We had dated, I guess it was about 8 or 9 years ago. And we had met, and we started seeing each other. And that's when I told her, I told Cheryl, I said, you know, it's just not going to work.
So you told the young lady that you didn't think it was going to work out. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. What happened next?
She came here. Carl picked her up at the airport.
Well, when you told her in December that it wasn't going to work out, she hadn't been here yet. Why didn't you cancel these papers?
I didn't know what, she was already in Manila. I didn't know what to do.
You mean she had traveled to Manila in order to come here?
Yeah, you have to go to Manila. You have to go to the embassy in order to come to the United States.
The interview
so she had already done the legwork there and was on her way here, and they had been using your papers to process her.
Right.
Okay. So you knew she was going to come?
Right.
In January.
Well, I told her not to come. She came anyway. Carl brought her to the apartment. I told her, I said, look, you know, it's just not going to work out. I think it was like two or three nights I stayed there, and I think that was it.
Why did you have sex?
Don't speak. Mr. Miller, when she stayed at your apartment for 2 or 3 nights, did you share a room together?
Yes.
Why?
Because there's only bed. I didn't have a couch or anything. I just moved.
So you shared a bed together?
Yes.
While he was living with
Mr. Blackman, he was very quiet. You have to be very quiet.
Yes, ma'am.
What arrangements did you make to get her a return ticket to go home?
When me and her had split up, or she had left, went to Carl's house.
That was just a few days later.
Right. Carl had went around telling everybody he was going to have me for abandonment, have me put in prison, $12,000 fine.
Prove it.
Don't know.
Mr.
Don't
Blackman,
know if he can
this
or
is
not.
the last time I say that to you, sir. The next time I dismiss your case. Do you understand? I control it here. It goes in an order. You, then him. Then if I have any questions. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you used to controlling things?
Not really.
Uh-huh. Does your husband like to control things?
She wears the pants.
What?
She wears the pants.
I somehow doubt that. Go ahead.
So once I heard what he was trying to do, I didn't know what to do, so I called my congressman. They put me in touch with liaisons. I told her what was going on. I said, you know, I need to stop the fiancé visa. She said, okay. Well, I talked to Carl. He said, look, he said, you pay $1,500. It'll all be said and done. It'll be over with. I said, okay, fine. It'll be done. I'd closed out my account. Mark Vaughn, he was a good friend of mine. I said, you mind writing a check? I said, here's the money. He said, no problem. Gave him $1,500. Well, Carl Blackman, in the meantime, had called and told her he was going to sue me, that I was going to prison, that on the documentation it says that I am liable for everything. Well, told him no, he's not. He offered to give you the money to send her back. You told him no. You've told me no, that you're not going to send her back, and there's nothing you can do to him. So then that's when he tried to go to court, get us on a criminal offense, and then we're here.
So that you stopped payment on the check that you had given him?
Yes.
That's what happened.
Yes.
But you understand that you owe him this money.
No, ma'am.
Yeah, you do. And for no other reason, Mr. Miller, than because of your actions, this young lady traveled from the Philippines to the United States. Now, you may have told her a week or two before she got on that plane while she had traveled to Manila, according to you, to begin this process, that it wasn't going to work out. And if it wasn't going to work out, then what you do when Mr. Blackman brings her to your home is put her in the car and you say, I'm bringing you back to Mr. Blackman's house. I told you this wasn't going to work out. You don't take her to your bed for a few nights and then return her. Bad sportsmanship. Not moral conduct. You don't do a test run with somebody that you know is not going to be a permanent part of your life, especially under the circumstances where you met her in the Philippines, which was on her turf. According to what the plaintiff tells me, which I believe, one of the frustrations that you had is that you were not alone very much because of her strict upbringing in her family. So she comes to a strange place, she comes to a strange home, she comes to a person that she's known for, what, a week or two? Is that all you knew her? I mean, other than the mail and the telephone
I was
calls.
over there about four or 5 days.
So it was less than a week.
Mm-hmm.
And she's vulnerable because she's here. She doesn't know anybody. I don't know how her English is, but she's certainly very vulnerable. And you took advantage of that. Bad show. And I can understand when Mr. Blackman says that there was an embarrassment that she had in going home right away. And she had to emotionally prepare herself to go home because she was going home different from the way she came. How old was she?
25.
And how old are you?
I just turned 35.
And you have a child.
Yes.
I see that from here. Were you married before?
Yes.
Once before?
Twice.
So you've been around the flagpole a couple of times,
I
as
guess you could
opposed
say
to this
that.
young lady.
I don't know if she had or hadn't. I would say not.
The only other expense that I haven't addressed is your attorney's fees. Now, you said you had attorney's fees.
Yes, we tried to change her visa so she could stay here without going
That's
home.
not his problem.
Yes.
That's your problem. That's her cousin. If you tried to change her visa,
Yes, ma'am.
then you're doing that out of the goodness of your heart. That has nothing to do with his relationship with you.
Yes, ma'am.
I certainly believe that you are entitled to be reimbursed for certain of your expenses.
Yes, ma'am.
And certainly for the $1,500 plus your airfare, I believe that you did provide airfare both ways for this young lady. And I believe that she probably needed a period of adjustment before she went back.
Yes, ma'am.
Not she came 1 week and she goes back the next. Kind of embarrassing. But I would say, Mr. Blackman, that she's not here. I cannot inquire of her. But I would say a month or so should have been sufficient time for her to get over this and to go home.
Mm-hmm.
Did she stay with you the entire time?
Yes, ma'am, she did.
Okay. So on your claim, Mr. Blackman, I'm awarding you $2,500.
Thank you.
The $1,500 that he was supposed to have given you, plus $1,000 a month for the month that I believe would have been sufficient time for her to prepare herself to go home. So on your claim, sir, I am awarding you $2,500.
Thank you.
Didn't do the right thing, sir. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Vincent Miller versus Crowell. Step forward, please.
20-year-old student Amber Vincent and her boyfriend Josh Miller are suing 24-year-old computer technician Roger Crowell for breaking her windshield with a softball.
Who was driving the car that day?
I was, Your Honor.
And whose car is it?
Mine, Your Honor.
According to your complaint, you're driving your car. It's a 1995 BMW, minding your own business, and all of a sudden you see a ball come towards the car, smashes your windshield. And it is your claim that the defendant, who was playing softball on that day, was at bat and responsible because he hit the ball that was responsible for your broken windshield.
Correct.
He says it wasn't him, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, once your windshield was smashed, tell me exactly what you did.
Well, first, I would like to point out, as I was on the decline of the hill that was parallel to Centennial Middle School, I actually noticed the ball players playing ball And as I was driving, you know, I see if my windshield wasn't there, I could have literally caught the ball with my hands. Shatters the windshield, bounces off. I don't know where it went. I pulled right in. And from that moment, the first person I saw was a woman in a van with a bunch of kids. She, in turn, was the coach's wife who was there and pointed out Mr. Kroll as the person who had hit in the ball. She said that she saw him hit the ball. She
Can't
heard
tell me
it
what
hit
she
something.
said. That's all hearsay.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's not true either, Your Honor.
Well,
we're not talking about an intentional act here, sir.
Okay.
Do you understand? We're not talking about an intentional act. You weren't aiming, or whoever hit the ball wasn't aiming for a car. You were aiming for a home run, or whoever hit the ball was aiming for a home run. So you get on the field where they were playing ball.
Well,
and you have, just a second, and you have a discussion with somebody in a car. And how long did this discussion take?
I was still discussing stuff with her in and out of conversation until after the police had arrived and departed the scene.
Now, when you arrived, did you see who was at the plate?
Yes.
Hitting who?
It was Mr. Kroll.
And you pulled into the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Did it take you a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes? How long did it take you to pull in?
30 seconds. I mean, it hit and the driveway was right there. I pulled in, parked the car. It was actually, I don't even remember if I left it. I think I left it even running when I got out of the car because I was just frantic.
You're telling me that when you pulled in, you saw the defendant at the plate?
Yes, he was holding the bat, standing at the plate.
That's
okay.
not true.
Shh. Don't say anything else until I ask you a question. Understood? Good. From where the person who was at bat is holding the bat and where your car was originally hit, is that in front of it? I mean, what I'm trying to figure out is, would have been a foul ball, or would that have been a home run?
It was. I asked who had the home run swing.
Just a second. So that would have been a home run.
Correct.
Now, I am not really a sports aficionado. However, am I correct, Bird, that if one hits a home run, what one does immediately is drop the bat and start running around the bases? You do that immediately.
Yeah.
As soon as the ball takes off.
Yeah.
Right?
In
You see it go, and you start running.
That's right.
You get where I'm going?
Yes.
Just a minute. Okay. You get where I'm going?
Mm-hmm.
So, it took you 30 seconds to get in. According to you, when you got there, he's standing poised.
Correct.
To bat.
Not poised, standing there holding the bat, almost in anticipation of my arrival. It was during softball practice.
No.
It wasn't
Okay.
a game.
No. Now, Mr. Crowell, I have a couple of questions for you. Would you do me a favor while I'm getting it? Would you just get the estimate of the windshield?
Sure.
I'm sure she has that as on the paper. Tell me about this league that you play with, sir.
We played in a county softball league. It was co-ed.
So you are part of a team.
Yes, I was the coach.
Okay.
I arranged the team and everything.
Fine. And how long has this group been playing together?
We started practicing in April.
Same group of guys and gals?
Yes.
How many are on the team?
At the time, there was probably 15.
Are there dues?
Yes, there were.
And what are the dues?
Well, it was $20 for each player for the players' fees,
Mhm.
and then the team registration fee came out to be, if you had 15 people, $20 per person, and our sponsor paid the sponsor fee, the team registration dues.
Okay. You get where I'm going? I'm not sure you get where I'm going, so I'll explain it to you.
Okay.
Because this is not really a very difficult case. I don't know whether you were at bat or whether you weren't at bat. It really is not relevant. You were the coach of the team, right? You put it together.
Yes.
Put the lead together. There is the question in my mind that the plaintiff's car was hit by a softball that somehow emanated from your team. Now, we have a totally innocent party, and that's this team over here. Totally innocent. They're driving along. And on the other side, we have some guys and gals who are playing softball, and certainly without intention, one of their members was responsible for a ball getting away. Who do you think should pay?
Well,
Take a deep breath before you answer that question, because we're talking here about responsibility. Not necessarily your individual responsibility, sir, but we're talking about baseball in a windshield, baseball on a baseball field.
I was willing to investigate the matter because we didn't know if the county would pay for it, since it was an organized practice and we're playing on their fields. So we wanted to look into that, and of course I was going to do that. There was also a gentleman that had been hitting before who had hit quite a few balls over the fence, and there was a couple...
From your league?
Yes. None of them struck anything. None of them, you know, they all bounced off the road, and this guy probably shouldn't have been hitting up there anyway because he's probably the best hitter on our team, but and being that the fence is so near the road.
Let's get on with it. Who do you think should pay for their broken windshield?
Not me.
Your team. Not necessarily you if you say you didn't hit a ball that far. And it's very possible that you didn't. And even the guy who was hitting before you, I'm certain didn't intend to cause any damage to anyone. But you got innocent people and you got the team responsible. So you take up a collection, you tell everybody, kick in $25, we're going to pay for the windshield. Period. End of discussion. Have an estimate here for $300.52. Judgment for the plaintiff. Get it from your team.